This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Sunny and 22 with the 6 o'clock news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens can repair it from just $99. Look for the big red koala.
Media mogul Rupert Murdoch has announced he's stepping down as chairman of Fox and News Corp. More from US correspondent Alison Petrowski.
After 7 decades at the helm of Fox and News Corporation, Rupert Murdoch says the time is right. In a letter to his staff, he named his 52-year-old son Lachlan as his successor and announced he will transition to the role of chairman emeritus in November. The Australian-born media mogul took control of News Limited from his father, Sir Keith Murdoch, in 1954 and has become one of the most powerful global figures in news. The 92-year-old says both he and his companies are in good health and that he'll remain involved on a day-to-day basis. The transition comes after a tumultuous period for Fox Corporation. Earlier this year, Fox News had to pay more than $1 billion to Dominion Voting Systems for the lies the network told during the 2020 election.
The cause of a fire on Kangaroo Island will be investigated today after a business already ravaged by a blaze reignited. The CFS was called to the Lighthouse Cafe with the blaze spreading to an adjoining butcher's shop. Brittany Evans from the CFS says it's doubled the damage bill to $1 million.
On arrival, crews found the building engulfed in flames, with fire breaching through the roof. Volunteer firefighters worked from outside the building to control the fire within an hour.
Meantime, a damage bill of more than $250,000 has been left by a fire at a home in Highbury. The blaze broke out in Domain Common, destroying several motorbikes and cars in a garage. The federal budget's in surplus to the tune of $22.1 billion for this financial year. The final budget outcome for the 2022-23 year will be released by the Albanese government today. Higher income tax revenues and stronger earnings from exports have mainly contributed to the windfall. Experts say a major inquiry into Australia's response to COVID shouldn't be politicised. The probe will look at what policies worked well during the pandemic and where improvements can be made. The federal opposition claims it's flawed, accusing the government of trying to shield Labor premiers from scrutiny. But Public Health Association of Australia Chief Terry Slevin says the focus must be on solutions.
This isn't a political bun fight. It isn't an exercise about laying blame and seeing who can score the most points. If it goes down that path, it has failed, and it's very clear that the terms of reference looks to avoid that being the case.
Disability support workers claim poor pay and working conditions are affecting the quality of care. Emily Minnie reports.
The Australia Institute's Centre for Future Work has found a growing reliance on independent contractors and digital platforms is leading to poorer outcomes for participants on the NDIS. Under the National Disability Insurance Scheme, some workers are earning as little as $24 an hour. The centre is proposing mandatory registration and accreditation for support workers and wants them to be paid at least $10 more an hour. It also wants all NDIS service providers to become registered. The centre's policy director has told The Australian the current structure of the scheme is not sustainable and is threatening workforce stability.
While workers at Australian poultry giant Ingham's are walking off the job in SA today over a pay dispute. New research has found people who sleep badly are also more likely to be obese. The James Cook University study indicates poor sleep duration and quality boosts the secretion of hormones and exacerbates the risk of being overweight. Restless sleep lowers appetite-suppressing hormones in the blood and raises appetite-promoting ones. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
And here's a man who never sleeps, Tom Wren.
I was going to say, could be in a bit of trouble, I think, Kendall. Let's start with footy. Collingwood will strip back its game plan to the basics for tonight's prelim final against GWS. The Magpies were kept to just 2 behinds in the final quarter of their qualifying final win against Melbourne. Coach Craig McRae says they'll be looking to move the ball quick and deep.
Lee Matthews used to say that to fix goal kicking, the best way to do it is kick goals closer in. Our best version of us is that we move the ball well enough that we get shots closer in and force the opposition to have wide shots and long ones. So defensively we want to try to create an oval like that, and then offensively we want to create shots closer to goal.
Nick Dacos returns from injury for the Pies. Meantime, Carlton has brought back Harry Mackay along with Jack Martin for tomorrow night's prelim against Brisbane at the Gabba. The Lions have been dealt a big blow with defender Jack Payne ruled out through injury. Let's go to cricket, and Aussie captain Pat Cummins says Marnus Labuschagne is on track for a late call-up to Australia's squad for next month's One-Day World Cup.
He was fantastic. You know, he was our best batter over there in South Africa. He was great. So good to see him not only batting well, I think his intent was excellent over there in South Africa as well. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll get a chance these 3 games and push for a spot.
And in some soccer news, Liverpool has beaten Austrian club Lask 3-1 in the Europa League. West Ham has just gone 2-1 up in its match with about 15 minutes to play, while Brighton is currently locked at 2-2 against AEK Athens. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Sunny and 22 today, sunny again tomorrow, 24, up to 28 on Sunday, and partly cloudy for Monday, also 28. At the moment, 7. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
7 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Friday on 5AA Breakfast. It is the 22nd of September. We've got a really fun morning ahead. And it starts with this announcement. Our Grand Vinyl Eve party is returning for the end of this football season. You might remember last year, broke out the vinyl. Thanks to the great people at Clarity Records, we had a whole night worth of musical entertainment getting you geared up for the grand final. Today, we need your help, and it forms part of our Meat Tray Friday question today, all thanks to Hayden's Family Butcher, Shop 52 in the Burnside Village. We want our playlist to be inspired by the AFL team's 2023 seasons this year. We want you to give us a song that describes each club's year. A song that describes each club's year. David's done a bit of homework on this, because he's got alternatives for every single club. And at the end of the show, what we're going to do is determine whether David's or your suggestion ultimately forms the playlist for the Grand Vinyl Eve party. And someone's walking away with that magnificent meat tray as well. So if you've got suggestions, you can call us on 8223 0000. You can jump on the Duttons text line and get in contact with us that way. With a huge range of vehicles available in the Hills and Murray Bridge, Duttons can deliver right now. Let us know a song that describes a club's 2023 season. Any song, any club. We need 18 of them. It's a long night of spinning records. So help us out. 8223 0000. In the meantime, Friday morning means Feedback Friday's coming up. We've got the Police Dog Squad celebrating 50 years of operations. Looking forward to that chat after 8 o'clock today. We'll get you across all the big news around the world as well. David Penberthy is replete in Sturt gear this morning, fired up for the grand final. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Will. Yep, got my clubber on, including my now unavailable short-lived T-shirt, which my very enterprising wife managed to buy for me, I think from that Red Bubble website years ago, featuring the great number 24, Rick Jumbo Prince Davies, in full flight there, slotting another one through the big white sticks. And yeah, got the old. This is the late 70s, early 80s scarf. None of the embroidered sort of club crests or logos or anything. It's just the straight old, slightly garish double blue. Speaks for itself. Big day ahead on Sunday, kicking off at 3 o'clock at the Adelaide Oval. I tell you what, with the weather, the way it's looking, there's no reason why I think realistically a crowd of at least 25, hopefully more than 30,000 people. And given that if you're under 18, so your kids, your grandkids, you don't have to pay a cent to get in. Concessions are only $24, so if you're on a seniors card, on the pension, you're in there for $24. $32 general admission for adults, so no reason to go. You can take the whole family, and you know you've only as an adult you've only got to pay for yourself. Take your kids. It's basically a free day out. I love this Meat Tray Friday idea, and I love the fact that, and a big shout out to Matt and Laura if they're listening. Clarity Records, just over the road here in Pulteney Street, down the Hungry Jack's end, near the car park. Such a good record store, and they have been kind enough again to partner up with us for Grand Vinyl Eve. But what we thought was, it's become, I'm not saying it's become repetitive, but there's what we did when we started it, and it was a great idea, was we focused on, as we've been doing with the competition this fortnight, the performers who've appeared at the AFL Grand Final. Now, there's a finite number of them, so we don't want to play, I will do anything for love every year, and Bound for Glory by Angry Anderson and nothing else. So we want some lateral thought, and it's sort of, the idea is not just the club's season this year, but where the club is at in a more general sense.
Oh, okay.
Because North Melbourne, their season 2023 looks a lot like their season 2022, which looks a lot like their season 2021.
Slow build.
So I'm not going to toss any suggestions out yet. I think we need to just let it percolate. But obviously, the Crows and Port, won a year of promise, I guess, for the Crows, and for Port, sadly, in the end, it was one of saving the worst till last.
We need one for every team too, and I reckon it's going to be someone who comes up with something clever for an obscure team that probably wins this, because otherwise we'll get 1,000 Crows and Port calls.
Yeah.
It's only one song for each. Martello in Athelston, good morning.
Morning, boys. How are we?
Good, mate.
Good, thanks, mate.
So I've got one for Port Adelaide.
Yep.
Yep. I apologise.
I apologise. Who's saying I apologise?
Who by, Martello?
Five Finger Death Fund.
Not familiar with that one, I must confess.
That's good.
We'll have to check it out. Thank you, Martello. Guy in Glenelg, good morning.
Hi, lads. How you going?
Good, mate.
I'm breaking the rules just slightly. Mine is an album by the greatest band of all time, Sweet.
Yeah.
The album being Desolation Boulevard for the Crows, who promised so much and just destroyed our seasons at the end.
Thank you,
What was the name of the album? Sorry, Guy?
Desolation Boulevard.
Desolation Boulevard by Sweet. That's excellent.
Thank you, Guy. Let's go to Largs Bay. Mark, good morning.
Morning, boys. I've got a couple, actually. I've got one for the Crows. It'd have to be Godley and Cream's Cry.
Excellent.
And for the Power, Debbie Harry's Backfired off the album Cuckoo.
That's good.
Excellent.
Put an asterisk next to that one. I like
Backfired.
that.
By Debbie Harry solo.
Thank you, Mark. We have to keep a tab on the standout ones over the course of the morning. Lots of Crows in Port. Remember, we got 16 other clubs as well that we need songs for as well this morning. Matthew, g'day.
Good morning, gentlemen. I reckon Port Power, seeing as I've gone out and straight set several times, Mr. Hinkley could use Frank Sinatra's I Did It My Way.
Excellent. Don't mind that either. 8223 If you want to jump on the Duttons text line, you can do so, and you can have a crack at a number of them if you want.
Multiple choices are allowed.
Yeah, you can have you can mention 6 clubs if you want.
I've got a short list. I've thought of about 12 so far. I haven't thought of one for Collingwood, haven't thought of one for Essendon, haven't thought of one for Gold Coast, haven't thought of one for the Saints or Sydney or the Western Bulldogs. So there's plenty of... and some of the ones I've thought of are a bit meh.
I like this from Josh on the Duttons text line. Morning, boys, West Coast. Things Don't Seem by Australian Crawl.
That is a great choice.
That is a superb choice.
That is an excellent choice.
Things just don't seem to be going right.
Was that Josh, you said?
That was Josh on the Duttons text line.
Things just don't seem... Great song too.
That's got an asterisk next with that one. Darcy, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for taking the call. I've got one for all the Carlton supporters out there.
Yeah.
The Divinals, I Touch Myself.
Well, Darcy could be a winner this morning.
That is excellent.
I think we might just have got Carlton sorted. That's going to take some serious beating.
See, I had 1999 for Carlton by Prince because it's the last time they won. No, they didn't even win. It's the last time they were in a grand final.
Last time they were in a grand final. I think you may just have been bested just then.
I touch myself. They do, don't they?
Oh, my goodness. That is so spot on. I reckon we've got one. We've got one out of the 18 locked away.
Lock it in. Lock it in, Eddie.
8223 You can text us on the Duttons text line as well. With a huge range of vehicles available in the hills and Murray Bridge, Duttons can deliver right now.
I was thinking we could do Thai fish cakes or a laksa.
Maybe I could do that white wine sauce you like.
With a fully equipped kitchen, you won't just eat. You'll dine under the stars in your Oztrack camper.
Oztrack!
Oztrack!
Oztrack campus!
Keep it clean and running like a dream with F10 fuel treatment. Whether it's cars, trucks or earth-moving machinery, boats or bikes, petrol or diesel, no matter what you drive, F10 makes engines run smoother and more efficiently, cleans and protects injectors and pumps and extends the life of your engine. F10 removes water, wax, varnishes and diesel bug contamination. F10 fuel treatment. Available at Autobahn, Auto Pro, Napa Parts, Truckline and Veals.
Now, with music at the touch of a button nowadays, there's something extra special about going to Clarity Records and taking it home on vinyl.
It's a way of saying that this album's so important to you that you want to hold it in the flesh and take the time for it to soak in.
I mentioned before the Grand Vinyl Eve party and also my sheer love of wandering over the road to Clarity Records, because there's nothing like the sound of a record. It's a piece of musical history, from the Beatles to Black Sabbath, from Tyler, the Creator, to Taylor Swift. Clarity Records know their music.
So whether you're starting your collection or you're a vinyl enthusiast, you'll find what you're looking for, and they'll try and find it for you, and they're always buying second-hand records.
And look, next Friday week, don't forget our Grand Vinyl Eve party from 7 to 10 p.m. On air, obviously, we'll be spinning the greatest AFL tracks of all time, plus your entries today describing the 18 AFL clubs, and it's all thanks to Clarity Records, your fully independent record store, serving the local music community for over 13 years. 60 Pulteney Street, Adelaide, or check out clarityrecords.net.
I was just doing my job. I didn't think I'd get injured.
The doctor said it was a routine procedure? Right.
The car came out of nowhere and it smashed right into us.
At DBH Lawyers, we're here to listen to your story. Our team of local South Australian lawyers will help you navigate the law and find the best way forward. We're with you. We're for you. We're DBH Lawyers. dbh.com.au.
It's easy to get behind the wheel of a new Mawson Lakes Volkswagen right now. In fact, it's ridiculously easy. All you need to do is head to the showroom on Salisbury Highway, check out the range of new and demo Volkswagens on sale now, and then pick your favourite. How easy is that? All stock is ready for immediate delivery, with easy finance options available. And remember our next day servicing. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
18 after 6, there are some great suggestions coming through. Dutton's text line, the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream, callers as well. I love this one from Essendon. We might leave it for a few moments and come back to some more in a moment. Will from Goodwood's driving back from Geelong and says, guys, as a Bombers supporter, it's got to be the Talking Heads. We're on a road to nowhere. That is superb.
That's very apt for the Bombers, because it feels like,
yeah,
you know, the thing about the Bombers is so many false dawns. And then it all goes to what again?
Mediocrity in perpetuity.
Who had that one?
That was from Will from Goodwood.
Will from Goodwood.
We'll continue to take more calls and jump into your texts very shortly. First news headlines, though. This is remarkable, this story. A Kangaroo Island cafe, ravaged by fire earlier this week, has reignited, destroying an adjoining butcher shop, too. Remember, the butcher shop was under threat and partially burned. Looks like it's been totally destroyed now.
So reignited. Has it
reignited?
Has it reignited, or has it been reignited?
Well, this is the question. The CFS were called to the Lighthouse Cafe just before 7 last night and were able to extinguish the blaze within an hour. Brittany Evans from the CFS spoke.
On arrival, crews found the building engulfed in flames, with fire breaching through the roof. Volunteer firefighters worked from outside the building to control the fire within an hour.
Now, you recall 5 scene investigators went and checked this out. We spoke to Michael Pengelly earlier in the week and said it was an electrical fault.
Yeah. The other thing that makes this odd, I think, is that this is now the 4th fire in 6 months. Now, when we spoke to the mayor the other day, he was talking about them being old buildings and so on. And obviously, there are occasions where it's electrical faults that cause buildings, but the frequency with which it has happened, and the fact that this has happened again in the exact same spot, it does invite some valid suspicion, does it not?
It absolutely does. We'll be crossing to KI a little bit later in the morning to try and get up to speed with the latest. Australia's chicken supply could be at risk as workers walk off the job at one of our biggest poultry producers. More than 1,000 workers are striking for 24 hours unless the company agrees to a 6% pay rise for employees. The action taking place in South Australia and Western Australia.
That's what you call a poultry offer.
Soaring income tax has mainly driven a huge turnaround in Australian finances. The final budget outcome from 2022-23 will be released by the federal government today. It'll show a surplus of $22.1 billion over the past year.
That was the figure Albo dangled in front of us yesterday in the studio.
He was very excited about it.
All his own work, apparently.
All his own work. Just by taxing you. How easy.
And every time someone in Western Australia digs a hole in their backyard, they find, millions of dollars worth of...
It's the accounting trick. Koshy spoke to us about before. The accounting trick in the budget when they bet in an iron ore price that's usually about half of what they know it will sell for. So when it sells over the course of the financial year, they go, look at how much extra money we found in the budget. But it's because they underestimated deliberately what the cost of all this stuff was going to be over the next year.
What about our mate Koshy? I texted him yesterday, Arvo, just to make sure it was all sweet. And I said, mate, sorry, we weren't trying to make total, what's of ourselves. But
did he reply?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
He did. We had a good chat.
Was there any expletives?
No.
Okay.
No.
New research suggests a growing number of men are experiencing infertility. A report from the University of New South Wales shows 1 in 3 IVF cycles are attributed to male infertility. The figure also suggests 1 in 3 mothers are giving birth after their initial cycle. You do hear anecdotally a lot more people that are on IVF these days, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
New research has found people who sleep badly are also more likely to be obese. The James Cook University study indicates poor sleep duration and quality boosts the secretion of hormones and exacerbates the risk of being overweight. Restless sleep lowers appetite-suppressing hormones in the blood and raises appetite-promoting ones. Sort of a confirmation of something that's always been considered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Disability support workers say poor pay and working conditions are affecting the quality of care. The Australia Institute's Centre for Future Work has found a growing reliance on independent contractors and digital platforms is leading to poorer outcomes for patients. The centre is proposing mandatory registration and accreditation for support workers and wants them to be paid at least $34 an hour. Let's have a look at the weather today. Right now it's cool, 7.6 degrees outside. I don't remember it being that cool in probably a fortnight. 22 though expected top today and sunny, a beautiful day ahead of a perfect weekend. 24 tomorrow, 28 for the Sanford Grand Final on Sunday. Both days just sunny and with very little wind to speak of. Similar Monday, albeit there's some cloud. Then Tuesday, at 28 again on Monday, 24 on Tuesday. It cools down Wednesday to 20. Thursday back up to 24, but no rain on the forecast at all. So some beautiful spring weather in Adelaide. Tom Wren's in the 5AA Breakfast Studio. Gliderol Garage Doors, new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here, gliderol.com.au. Morning to you, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Looking magnificent, Pembo, with the Sturt scarf on. I love that. The paraphernalia, the excitement of Grand Final Day coming up.
It's going to be massive. It's going to be a big day.
It's going to be huge. Will, who was your team growing up? Sanford.
He didn't have one.
Oh, I didn't have one. Really?
Yeah.
He's an SANFL atheist.
Yeah. Well, part of it is none of my family's from Adelaide.
Yeah.
So my grandparents.
So.
And when I was
Sorry
eight,
to put you on the spot.
When I was 8, the Crows came.
Come in. Yep. No, that's fair enough. I was always the Maggies. I was a massive Scott Hodges man. I remember one of my earliest memories was the first game I can remember was the '89 Grand Final, when North kicked just one goal.
Oh, yeah.
And then Scott Hodges the following year, 153 goals. Love Scotty Hodges.
Was that the one when someone facetiously fabricated a quote from Mick Noonan saying, "We went out there today with 1 goal in mind"?
they might have, I think. And didn't Craig Burton was the only one that kicked the goal that day. I think he said it was always his dream to kick the first goal for his team, but not the only one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Roosters did get their revenge 2 years later. Roosters fans, it was in the bloodbath of North and West, or was that game?
About that?
Anyway, we're going back. Should be a cracking game. First grand final since 2017. Glenelg, I think, won it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, they beat Port, and Sturt in 2016 beat the Eagles, and then 17 beat Port by a point.
Yep.
The last clash between Sturt and Glenelg in a grand final was 1974. Sturt won. Sturt won all 3 of their grand finals against Glenelg. I think the Bays have only won 5 flags. They've lost a lot of grand finals.
They've lost a lot of grand finals, yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I know I know John Riddell big port man. He used to say, "What's the best way to guarantee a premiership?" And I'd say, I don't know. He goes, "Play Glenelg."
On paper, you have to say that the Bays are favourites, I think.
Yep, season form, they've been the best side all year, but Sturt have been very good. And the other thing too, I don't know how much it counts for, but Sturt have had to play 3 weeks in a row, really hot conditions last week. How much does that take out of them? Whereas Glenelg have only played once in a month.
But conversely, there's another school of thought.
That's right.
You get 2 out of the rhythm because the Bays, by getting the double chance, they didn't play the first week of the finals. Then they beat the Crows to go straight into the granny. Then they had last week off. So I don't know. I mean, you mentioned Scott Hodges. I can remember Scott saying to me a few times he doesn't like that way of getting into the grand final.
Yep, having those weeks off. We've got that happening, of course, which is going to be great. But then the other thing, of course, is the prelim finals. Now, the longer the week goes on, I don't know if you overthink it, but I was pretty confident about Collingwood, but I do think GWS unchanged. And I actually think the Giants' best, their very best, is better than Collingwood's very best.
Right.
But I think the 95,000 fans that will be cheering for Collingwood, that counts for something.
I don't think it does against GWS. I don't think they care. They are the most psychologically on team, framed around a complete absence of any affection for them. Like, I reckon they could play, Wembley Stadium or Maracanã or Rio Plate Stadium in Buenos Aires, having bottles thrown at them.
Yeah.
And they just go, well, whatever.
They have got, Braden Maynard, we know, is someone who likes to shut down players, and he's a great player, but he's going to have his hands full. I think the best player in the competition in 15 minutes or 20 minutes that can turn a game is Toby Green. I'm not saying anything that nobody doesn't know already. He's a marvel, and if he gets off the leash, look out. I
reckon they're going to. I really think GWS are going to win.
Well, they could. They definitely could. Then the following night, I was really confident about Brisbane to the point where I thought, well, they'll win by 10 goals. But Jack Payne, coming out of that side, just throws a little bit of doubt. And a lot of people might be saying, who? Well, he's a defender, no nonsense, kept Charlie Curnow to a goal last time they played. He's that really important structural piece. He's out of the side. Now, they're still playing at the Gabba. They're still going to be hard to beat. I'm still backing Brisbane, but not as confidently. There's just that element of doubt now, I think, with the Lions. And they, a bit like Port Adelaide, have had this sort of choking tag about them for a few years. So I don't think they're a shoo-in.
Imagine winning every game at home for the entire year.
That's right.
Except your home prelim.
And how many times do you hear stories of that, or like in amateur football or junior? They won every game and then they lost in the grand final. It happens, and at the top level as well. So,
they've got to lose one eventually at the Gabba.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Brisbane and Collingwood for the grand final, and I'm going with the Bays in the Sandful boys.
Yeah, I think that'll be how it shakes out. I think Brisbane and Collingwood the week off.
Yeah,
it's really, really tough to beat.
My dream scenario is a GWS and Brisbane final.
Definitely.
Because it would just be like everyone in Melbourne, they'd feel like it's the worst thing that's ever happened to them. and to Darcy's excellent text earlier about the Divinal song, I touched myself. Can you imagine the total flogfest it's going to be in Melbourne if it's Carlton Collingwood? Every, Indian pale ale drinking hipster walking around with their old knitted scarf that they got at some op shop and their suede jacket. This is what football's all about, isn't it? Well, no, it's not. It's not. Like, football's about all sorts of things. It's not about you going to some Brunswick pub to drink beer out of an old jam jar, you Melbourne tosser. Football is just as much about GWS playing Brisbane as it is Carlton playing Collingwood.
Absolutely.
Get your hand off it, Daryl, to use that line from the castle.
Good on you, Rennie.
Thanks, boys.
Gliderol Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderol.com.au.
For nearly 40 years, no one has done certified used cars quite like Steinborner Automotive, with dedicated yards including SA's best range of commercials loaded and ready to go, including SA's only dedicated small car and SUV centre, and SA's only large SUV and 4x4 centre suited for any lifestyle. Steinborner still also has the best range of Commodores, from ZBs to the collectibles. View all late model used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
We're with Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. I'm sure you get this question every day, but how's the market?
Record low stock levels combined with really healthy buyer activity means we're continuing to achieve strong results for our clients.
Oh, that's interesting, especially given some of the stuff we keep hearing about living costs. Where's that buyer demand coming from?
Plenty of people are moving here from overseas, but the big change is interstate migration, with more and more people moving to Adelaide from other states.
So I'm guessing you don't expect prices to drop anytime soon then?
Adelaide's annual home values have dropped only twice in 42 years. So history tells us it's extremely unlikely Adelaide house prices are about to decrease.
To find out the value of your home, go to toop.com.au.
This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Sunny and 22 with the 6:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Complete windscreen supply and fit front, rear and door glass. Proudly South Australian since 1976.
Rupert Murdoch is stepping down as chairman of Fox and News Corp. In a letter to his staff, he's named his 52-year-old son Lachlan as his successor. The 92-year-old says both he and his companies are in good health and he'll remain involved on a day-to-day basis. In an interview with the BBC back in the 1960s, he described how he loved the feeling of power which came from being in charge of a newspaper.
Of course one enjoys the feeling of power, and the newspaper can create great controversies, stir up arguments within the community, discussion, can throw light on injustices, just as it can do the opposite. It can hide things and be a great power for evil.
Firefighters were called back to a popular Kangaroo Island cafe last night, only days after it was devastated by fire. The blaze at Lighthouse Cafe at Kingscote reignited, with flames spreading to the neighbouring butcher's shop. CFS crews put out the flames around 10 p.m. and fire cause investigators will attend the scene this morning. The damaged bill has been put at around $1 million. We could be paying more for poultry at the supermarket as factory workers walk off the job in a fight for better pay and conditions. Workers at Ingham's factories across the country, including SA, are striking for 24 hours. Tim Kennedy from the National United Workers Union says it could mean higher prices for shoppers.
This is going to have a significant effect on the supply chain if we do not reach agreement in the next couple of days. It will start to affect the supermarkets.
And there are calls for disability support workers to receive a pay rise and mandatory registration. The Australia Institute Centre for Future Work has found a growing reliance on independent contractors to connect NDIS participants to workers is leading to a lower quality of care. The federal opposition says business owners are being ripped off by a scheme created to upskill Australian workers. Companies that bring in foreign staff are required to pay a levy to the Skilling Australia Fund. But the coalition claims the money's going straight into government coffers instead of helping train our workforce. Deputy Liberal leader Susan Lee says the fund isn't being used for its intended purpose.
This Skilling Australia Fund, instead of equipping the next generation of skilled workers in Australia, is propping up the government's bottom line. It's a sneaky tax grab. Thousands of hardworking Australian business owners are being ripped off.
And Australia is set to host the world's first academic conference on Taylor Swift when the US pop star tours the country next year. More from the BBC's Holly Gibbs.
The course, which is being called Swiftposium, has been backed by scholars from 7 universities across Australia and New Zealand. Academics hope to explore Taylor Swift's influence on the music industry, culture and the economy. Organisers are inviting attendees to submit proposals using some of the singer's own lyrics as the titles. One suggestion called "If I Was a Man, Then I'd Be the Man" would look to discuss Swift's impact on gender issues. Speakers for the event will be finalised over the coming months, but organisers say they have left a blank space in the lineup, just in case Taylor Swift herself wants to join.
Now Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
And Tom Renner, massive game tonight.
Oh, it's going to be huge, isn't it? We can hear it all here on 5AA. Can't wait. Collingwood gun Nick Dacos. Well, he's a definite starter for tonight's prelim final against GWS at the MCG. Jack Ginnivan has been named as the starting tactical sub. Giants coach Adam Kingsley says he's going in with an unchanged side. Confident the Orange Tsunami has what it takes to beat the Pies.
We're really confident with the way we play. We understand it's going to be an extremely challenging game against what has been the best team in the comp over this year. So, we feel like our game stacks up. We feel like we're in good form.
Carlton has recalled Jordan Boyd for tomorrow's other prelim final against Brisbane, coming in for Brodie Kemp. David Cunningham and Matthew Owies make way for the return of Harry Mackay and Jack Martin. Last week, sub Ollie Hollands has been elevated to the starting 22. Still no room for Jack Silvani. Let's go to soccer. Liverpool has made a great start to its Europa League campaign, beating Austrian side Lask 3-1 this morning. The Reds trailed 1-0 at half-time, but fought back with 3 second-half goals.
Gravenberch. Gomez trying to support, really good ball in. Oh, what a fine goal. That has flowed into the last net. Luis Diaz with the finish. Liverpool are alive and Liverpool are in the lead.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. West Ham also had a win against Serbian side TSC 3-1, but Brighton is 3-2 down very late in its match against AEK Athens. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
A sunny day heading for 22. Sunny again tomorrow, 24 up to 28 on Sunday, and partly cloudy Monday, also 28. At the moment, 8. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Do you suffer from indigestion after eating? Do you get an uncomfortable bloated feeling in your belly? Or even worse, terrible wind? Caruso's Bloaties contains peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve bloating, indigestion and wind. It also contains digestive enzymes to help your body digest lactose and fat. Caruso's Bloaties is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
If you're building or renovating, you want tiles that will stand the test of time and help you live a better lifestyle.
That's right. Some of life's best moments happen on and around your floors. So whether it's your kitchen, your bathroom, your ensuite, your hallway or your outdoor space, it's important to choose quality materials that are both strong and stylish.
For 50 years, Italia Ceramics has been helping South Aussies find the right tiles for all lifestyles.
It's got an amazingly classy range, and you can create your own wow factor and shop the latest in premium on-trend floor and wall tile and stone at their award-winning showroom on Glenburn Road or online at their website, italiaceramics.com.au.
Gliderroll Garage Doors have been manufacturing and installing doors in SA since 1974. From roller doors and sectional doors to customer designer doors and timber doors, the Gliderroll range allows you to upgrade the street appeal of your home to any style. We also supply and install insulated sectional doors. Aside from the perfect smooth finish, insulated doors provide thermal and acoustic benefits. Call Gliderroll on 1300 799 177 or visit gliderroll.com.au. 5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
Darcy certainly in the lead for the meat tray this morning, all thanks to Hayden's Family Butcher, Shop 52 in the Burnside Village for his suggestion. This song by the Divinals to sum up Carlton's 2023. Geez, it was good. That's superb work. We, of course, are compiling our playlist for the Grand Final Eve party next Friday night ahead of the Grand Final, 7 to 10 p.m, all thanks to Clarity Records, your fully independent record store, serving the local community for over 13 years. Clarity Records, 60 Pulteney Street. What we need is a song that describes the year of every single AFL club. 8223 You can text us on the Duttons text line or jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. You're more likely to win the meat tray if you come up with a team and song we haven't thought of yet.
Yeah,
basically.
And there's a few gaps. There's quite a few gaps. We've got about 13 that we like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we have got exactly 13. I like the one from Will in Goodwood, Road to Nowhere for Essendon.
It's a great suggestion.
It's hard to top for the old Bombers. See the Bombers go up and then down again.
Mark in Campbelltown, you've got one for Collingwood, Mark. What's your suggestion?
Love the way you hate me.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Is that Rihanna?
No, that's by Like a Storm. There's a great didgeridoo solo right in the middle of the song.
Love the way you hate me for Collingwood. That's good.
Love the way you hate me.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mark. Keep them coming in, 8223 or shoot us text 0448 08 1395. You should rip through a couple of yours. Give us 3 or 4. Not
I'll
all
save. Well, I had 1999 for Carlton by Prince, but Darcy's absolutely blown me out of the park. One I really liked for the Cats, given our old friend Patrick Dangerfield approaching his autumn years as a footballer, along with Jeremy Cameron.
Along with all of them. Just say
along with all
of them.
I think, have you got it there, Will? It's a song off the great Neil Young album Harvest. But Old Man, I think... Old man, take a look at my life.
That works
I'm
very
a
well.
lot like you. Very hard to do that. I've got one for Port. Shall I throw it out there yet?
Hold.
All right.
I reckon.
Okay.
Hold. We might get more.
Okay. I think Fremantle. This is like how many Fremantle games do you watch as a South Australian?
Very few. They're always in that horrible Sunday evening twilight spot.
What about Out of Mind, Out of Sight by the Models?
That works.
I don't think I've watched a Fremantle game since I watched the first half of that boring grand final they were in against Hawthorn.
If you can beat Pembo's suggestions, we'll put yours on the playlist. 8223 or text us on the Duttons text line. Julie's called in. Morning to you, Julie.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Good, thanks, Julie.
Good. Okay, I've got a couple. Speaking of Geelong, like you were, I'm going to suggest Barbra Streisand, The Way We Were.
Oh, that's excellent.
And I've also got one. And I've also got one for West Coast.
Yep.
The Only Way Is Up.
By Yaz.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Oh, that's good.
That works really well.
Actually,
right.
you know, Julie, I actually had that on my list. The Only Way Is Up for West Coast as well.
Oh,
so
well, then don't check. Come on now. Don't
great
check.
minds.
Come on.
Oh, I think, gee, that just makes it a lot.
No, but I think Josh's suggestion, Things Don't Seem Right by Australian
That's
Crawl, is
true.
better. I think he's pipped us.
Yeah,
Julie.
that is a good one. Barry and Glenelg, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Now, as a long-suffering Essendon supporter, mate, the only one I can come out and think of is Thorpe and the Aztecs, Sick and Tired.
Great call, mate. That's a great call. Thank you, Barry. Dean in Holden Hill, good morning.
Good morning, boys. How are we?
Good,
mate.
Die-hard 54-year-old St Kilda supporter, so I would go White Snakes, here I go again.
Wasn't too bad a year, Dean. Made the finals. Ross got him in there.
I don't know.
We're not going to win finals by kicking 10 goals. That's all I'll say.
Well, Dean, that's why my song for St Kilda is I'm Bored by Iggy Pop, because I just think the way Ross Lyon coaches that team, just going to kill football as we know it.
He should be coach of the year, Ross Lyon. How he got that St Kilda list to 6th. They were never out of the finals all year.
It's by choking the life out of the game.
I challenge people, however he did it, name 8 St Kilda players that aren't people that are Dean's mad St Kilda fans.
The only one I can name is Brad Crouch.
They're not household names, yet they finished 6th. I think it's an unbelievable record. He did an incredible job, did Ross. 8223 yeah, you can text on the Duttons text. What was that great comment from that English football manager? Was it the Wimbledon manager in the 80s when he was criticised for having boring tactics? And he said, well, if you want entertainment, go see the clowns.
Yeah. Paul Roos said a similar thing to Andrew Demetriou in 2005, because Demetriou famously came out and said, the way Sydney are playing football, there's no way they're ever going to win the flag, and then they did. And it was like a 8 goals 9 to 7 goals 4 type scenario, that game against West Coast. Very low scoring.
Yeah. 8223 Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream too for some comments. We're starting to get some good spots filling up here. Would you suggest we've got about half the AFL?
Oh, no, we've only got 3 locked in so far.
Yeah, but we've had suggestions for more than half the teams now, I reckon.
Yeah, the only ones we haven't had suggestions for Sydney, the Bulldogs, Gold Coast. No, we've had a Collingwood suggestion.
I don't think we've had a Hawthorn yet, have we?
No.
That's about to change.
I've got mine.
Matt, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are we going?
Good, thanks, Matt.
I've got one for the Hawks.
Yep.
It's Toby Keith's I Ain't As Good As I Once Was.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, yours is a similar theme to that, isn't it?
Mine's Yesterday's Heroes by John Paul Young. That's good, Matt. I like
Great
yours.
suggestion, Matt. Thank you. Firmly in the running for the meat tray this morning, all thanks to the team at Hayden's Family Butcher. Shop 52 in the Burnside Village. Keep them coming in. We're going to take a break. Police and weather are coming up in a moment. And a reminder too, not just the meat tray you can win this morning, we've got sample grand final tickets to give away and one more person to put in the running for the Monday morning draw for the AFL Grand Final ticket competition. Flights and accommodation, it's all included. One more chance, 3 more songs. That's happening a little bit later today. Time to check traffic thanks to Keezer. If you're tired of back pain, time to try Keezer, KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will, and good morning. Cracking morning, and a nice smooth down the roads too. The freeway working well from Mount Barker through to Glen Osmond. Accident and breakdown free on the Southern Expressway. Do have a breakdown to look out for at Croydon Park. It's on the north-south motorway near Torrens Road. No great delays there. And keep an eye out for a camera out already, Baines Road at Woodcroft. Get double the value with the Porto's famous double Bondi burger. Grilled chicken breast fillets with lettuce, cheese, creamy mayo and chilli sauce. Just $9.95. Limited time offer, only at a Porto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
I'm Kathy Nagel, the Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. We all hear that access to general practitioners is increasingly difficult. Healthcare costs are escalating and many question the value for money when accessing GPs. Western GP Clinic are proud to boast a level of care and expertise encompassing a holistic approach, whilst providing a value option. To discuss your GP questions, call 1300 934 325. That's 1300 934 325 or visit westernhospitalgp.com.au.
It's Ian Healy and I'm here to talk to you about back pain and Keezer. If you're one of the 80% of Australians who suffer from back pain, it's tempting to do nothing. But this can cause weaknesses down the road. The best place to start with back pain is exercise. And the best place to exercise is Keezer. Keezer's physios and Swiss-designed strength training equipment help you build strength in a supervised environment. I go to Keezer and you can too at our new clinic in Norwood. Book your initial assessment at keezer.com.au.
When it comes to all things tools for tradies and serious DIYers, it's all in one place at Toolkit Depot.
Tools, equipment, safety gear and workwear open 7 days and online.
Kickstart spring at Toolkit Depot with a huge range of outdoor power equipment in stock, including mowers, trimmers, chainsaws and more, with specialist advice to help you get the job done.
Plus, get your lawnmower service for just $59, including oil and spark plug replacement, fuel, air filter clean and more. T's and C's apply. Offer ends September 30.
So don't wait. Kickstart your spring at Toolkit Depot. Visit any one of the 5 Toolkit Depot stores across SA or shop online. For more on store locations and brands they stock, visit toolkitdepot.com.au. Toolkit Depot, everything you need to get the job done.
There's only 1 week left to enter the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. You could be living it up mortgage-free in the $5 million Hyde Park home. Or you can take $4.5 million in cash and live life your way. The choice is yours. Every ticket improves treatments and care for all South Australians. See full details at homelottery.com.au. That's homelottery.com.au.
Licence M14411. Step up your camping game. Step up to air conditioning. And step up to a kitchen and ensuite with mains pressure cold and hot water. This summer, step up to an Austrac camper.
Austrac.
Austrac.
Austrac campers.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
11 minutes to 7, 5AA News, about 10 minutes away. On the other side of it, we'll take you through some of the big stories of the morning and overnight. None bigger than the decision by Rupert Murdoch, the chair of News Limited, to step down. He'll have an emeritus position on the board, but Lachlan Murdoch will take over. Long speculated. People wondered whether it'd be health that ultimately forced the decision. Age certainly is a factor, but he unlike the finale of Succession, he's stepping down of his own volition, is Rupert
right.
Murdoch.
And there was no real speculation about which of his children was going to sort of follow their father into the leadership position. I always thought Rupert Murdoch would be dragged out of the joint with his boots on. I've never seen a more hands-on bloke and a more switched-on bloke. He's utterly obsessed with work.
Well, have you read any of the email that he sent to staff?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he won't be hands-on.
No. It's like, I'm not going to be going quietly into the night. But dead set, like, one of the scariest and most illuminating moments of my working life was the first time he came to Sydney when I'd started editing the paper, and I got the call from upstairs, and everyone says, the boss. The boss is on his way. And you always know when Rupert Murdoch's come into the room, in a newsroom, because newsrooms are normally really loud and boisterous and people are arguing and shouting, and, in the golden era, probably 10% of the office was coming back from the pub. Like, they were crazy places. The only time a newsroom falls quieter than a public library is when Rupert Murdoch walks into it. And that first day, he just came over and he goes, "How you going, Dave?" And I said, yeah, good, thanks, Mr. Murdoch. And he always says, "Call me Rupert," and you never do. And he just picked up the paper and he just started going through it like this. And he goes, "You got a pen?" And I went, yeah. And he looks at the picture on page 3, and I think it was of a magpie or something. I don't know, some bird picture. And he goes, "Who cropped this photograph?" And I went, well, one of the backbench guys. He goes, "They cropped it wrong." And he's just drawing. He didn't think it should have been a deep photo. He thought it should have been a wide photo. And I'm thinking, aren't you in the middle of trying to buy the Wall Street Journal? Like his level,
powerful people on the planet.
And some of the people, and I know that the London arm of the printing union didn't like him because he broke up their borderline criminal protection racket where they used to run the pay office, that union, and there were people who died years ago still getting a salary, which is, the real story behind what happened at Wapping, where he just said, "I can't actually produce a paper under this industrial racket that exists," so he totally went to war with them. But in Australia, a lot of printers get misty-eyed talking about him because he could go down to Mile End himself.
He knew the machines all worked.
He knew everything about it. That's where the ink goes, that's where you feed the paper in. He could pull the whole thing apart and reassemble it himself.
We'll talk more about his retirement after 7 o'clock. Simon Timke from the Weather Bureau joins us in the meantime. Simon, looks like a super weekend on the way.
Morning, guys. Yeah, plenty of sunshine on the way this weekend. A sunny day ahead for today, 22 degrees, the maximum. Sunny and a bit warmer on Saturday, 24, and then 28 degrees on Sunday.
Excellent stuff, Simon.
Thank
Fantastic.
You, Simon. Let's head to Safe Bowl. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad's on the line. Kimberly, fatal crash at Reef Plains yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, it was about 2:15. Police were called to Gawler Road, Reeves Plains, following a crash between a Chrysler sedan and an Isuzu truck. Now, sadly, the driver of that sedan, 53-year-old man from Cuddler, sadly he died at the scene. The other driver's a 52-year-old man from One Tree Hill. He did suffer some minor injuries and was taken to the Royal Adelaide Hospital for treatment. But we had Gawler Road closed for several hours while major crash officers investigated the cause of the crash, but that's since been reopened. But, yeah, sadly that man's death is the 82nd life lost on SA roads, compared with 54 at the same time last year.
That's at least 3 deaths this week. I think 3 in a row the last 3 days. Terrible. Kimberley, also 5 people arrested in a stolen car in Flagstaff Hill overnight.
Yeah, this is just after midnight. We've spotted a white Volkswagen travelling east on Flaxmill Road, Christie Downs, and checks on the registration showed that the plates didn't actually match the description of the vehicle. So we've attempted to stop it, but it's sped off on Main South Road. Now, we've stopped and we've brought in Polair to assist with tracking the vehicle instead as it's continued north on the Southern Expressway. But we've been able to deploy some spikes on Marion Road, but the car's continued driving for a short time before being abandoned in Bodyview Road at Flagstaff Hill. So we've set up cordons around the area and we're able to arrest all 5 occupants of that car. They're all from the southern suburbs. We've got 4 boys aged between 18 and 14 and a 17-year-old girl. And we've discovered that vehicle had in fact been stolen from Ascot Park just overnight as well. So those teens will be facing a number of charges and in court in a couple of days.
Good stuff, Kimberley. Senior Constable Kimberley Broad there from SAPOL. Thank you.
We've got SANFL Grand Final tickets to give away, double passes to both the GF and the after party. If you call in right now, we need the first Sturt supporter to call through and the first Bays supporter to call through on 8223 0055. There'll be a song you're both familiar with that you might have all sung a few times this year. If you can complete the lyric, you'll get the tickets. 8223 0055. Get calling now. One Bays supporter, one Sturt supporter is what we're after.
Getting a stack of suggestions on the text line for our musically inspired Meat Tray Friday question. One here saying that either Port or the Bulldogs could have the cover of The Great Pretender by Queen. And also the Giants, given that they've played at 11 venues, how about I've Been Everywhere by Lucky Star? Good one. Sharon says Melbourne song should be Talking Heads Once in a Lifetime.
We could get a bit of Talking Heads going, it sounds like, on this playlist.
Road to Nowhere for the Bombers.
I don't mind that.
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
You may find yourself. Same as it ever was.
Quinton's the first caller through for the SANFL Grand Final tickets. Who's your team, Quinton?
Oh, look, my team's the Mighty Double Blues.
Okay.
Good on you, mate.
All you need to do to win the tickets, Quinton, is complete this lyric.
The emblem of the team we love, the team of the old Double Blues. Every heart beats true for the old Double Blues as we sing this song to you. What do we sing?
Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the Double Blues.
Yes!
Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eyes on the Double Blues.
You're off to the Grand Final, Quinton, to see the Double Blues. You may well be singing that song at the end of the game and more at the concert after. Rob in Netley. You're a Bays man, Rob?
I am, mate. Go the Tigers.
Well, yours is easy, isn't it? Complete this lyric.
If we're behind, then never mind. We'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weak until the final siren's gone.
Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, and we're from Tiger, yellow and black, go we're from Tigerland.
Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tiger, yellow and black, we're from Tigerland.
Good on you, Rob. You two are going to the SANFL Grand Final. 2 tickets to the game and indeed the after party as well.
There should be no argument that is not the best song that any football club has, I think.
What do you think is the best?
No, it's Tigerland. I think Tigerland.
Oh, sorry.
is the best
I
song.
agree. Yeah, I agree. I was going to say,
it's superb.
It'll take some beating.
Yeah. the GWF song might be the best stupid song. It's the weirdest song ever. It sounds like the Kazakhstan national anthem.
I think it's got an argument to be amongst the best.
Oh, yeah.
Without any
I'd put it up there.
qualification.
Who's got the worst one? West Coast is really bad.
The Big Bird.
Both the WA teams, yeah. FIVEAA, heave ho.
Yeah, I don't think either of our South Australian ones are particularly great.
No, I agree. I don't love either of them.
I don't love the Carlton song.
No, well, it's an old stripper song, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it's about a prostitute originally. Because there
Sturt
were some calls to cancel it for that very reason.
Sturt and Melbourne are the same, aren't they? I like that song. I reckon that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's good. The Sydney former Port Magpies song is great. I reckon that's terrific.
Yeah. Good old Collingwood Forever's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't matter. We're rewriting the playlist this morning for the Grand Final Eve party.
It's hard to remember some of them. Like, I haven't heard North Melbourne song for so long. How's it go again? I can't remember it. Someone ring up and sing it. Oh, join in the chorus.
Sing it one
all.
all.
Yeah, that's it.
North Melbourne's on the ball. Yeah, we haven't heard it for a while.
Good old North Melbourne.
We don't want the football songs. We want popular songs that describe football club seasons this morning. We're putting together the ultimate playlist for Clarity Records and our Grand Final Eve party. In the process, you could win yourself a meat tray thanks to Hayden's Family Butcher. Shop 52 in the Burnside Village. We'll take more of your suggestions in the next hour.
I was just doing my job. I didn't think I'd get injured.
The doctor said it was a routine procedure? Right.
The car came out of nowhere and it smashed right into us.
At DBH Lawyers, we're here to listen to your story. Our team of local South Australian lawyers will help you navigate the law and find the best way forward. We're with you. We're for you. we're DBH Lawyers. dbh.com.au.
Keep it clean and running like a dream with F10 fuel treatment. Whether it's cars, trucks, earth-moving machinery, boats or bikes, petrol or diesel, no matter what you drive, F10 makes engines run smoother and more efficiently, cleans and protects injectors and pumps, and extends the life of your engine. F10 removes water, wax, varnishes and diesel bug contamination. F10 fuel treatment. Available at Atom, Bailey's Marine Fuels, Blackwoods, Burson's and Repco stores.
It's easy to get behind the wheel of a new Mawson Lakes Volkswagen right now. In fact, it's ridiculously easy. All you need to do is head to the showroom on Salisbury Highway, check out the range of new and demo Volkswagens on sale now, and then pick your favourite. How easy is that? All stock is ready for immediate delivery, with easy finance options available. And remember our next day servicing. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
The St John Christmas Home Lottery is back with their biggest grand prize ever. The $5.2 million grand prize includes a waterfront home in West Lakes, Porsche Cayenne and $250,000. Or choose $4.5 million in cash. It all launches with Cash Timber for $20,000 every weekday in September. Plus, all tickets also go into the weekly draws where you could win cars, cash, holidays, a holiday home and more. Buy your tickets now at stjohnlottery.com.au. Licence number M14453.
5AA's Business Lounge with Matthew Pantelis.
As part of 5AA's NDIS Awareness Month, we're talking with Nick Chigwidden from Physio Extra.
Great to be here, Matthew.
You have 7 Physio Extra clinics right across town, but you've also got 2 rehab centres.
That's right, and Marion and Nord locations incorporate rehab centres. And many of the clients we see have NDIS plans for neurological conditions such as strokes, cerebral palsy, MS and spinal cord injuries.
Tell us about your robotic technology and hydrotherapy for NDIS clients.
Robot-assisted therapy enables effective and intensive retraining that achieves excellent outcomes. So we have invested in robotic gait training equipment, which is known as the Locomat machine, and also an Armio machine, which is for treating hand and arm impairments. To complement this robotic equipment, Marion also has a private hydrotherapy pool, and all this is overseen by highly trained physios.
Thanks, Chiggy. To find out more about Physio Extra and their NDIS facilities, go to physioextra.com.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 22 with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens can repair it from just $99. Look for the big red koala.
A man has died following a crash at Reeves Plains yesterday. A Chrysler sedan and an Isuzu truck collided on Gawler Road. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad says the driver and sole occupant of the car, a 53-year-old man, died at the scene.
Sadly, that man's death is the 82nd life lost on SA roads, compared with 54 at the same time last year. The other driver is a 52-year-old man from One Tree Hill. He did suffer some minor injuries and was taken to the Royal Adelaide Hospital for treatment.
A Kangaroo Island cafe ravaged by fire earlier this week has reignited, destroying an adjoining butcher shop. The CFS was called to the Lighthouse Cafe just before 7 last night. Brittany Evans from the CFS says they were able to extinguish the blaze within an hour.
The building, which had already been significantly impacted by fire, has now been destroyed. It's estimated the fire has caused an additional $500,000 worth of damage, putting the total damage bill at approximately $1 million.
While the cause of an earlier fire at Highbury has been deemed not suspicious but still undetermined, the home on Domain Common has been left with a damage bill of $250,000 after a garage with 3 motorbikes went up in flames. Lachlan Murdoch will become the sole chairman of News Corp and Fox Corporation when his father Rupert retires in mid-November. The 92-year-old is stepping away from the role, saying the time is right to take on different roles. He's been in the media for 7 decades. The Albanese government will formally announce a $22 billion surplus for the past financial year. More from Michael Packey in Canberra.
The final budget outcome for 2022-23 will be released today, and as expected, it'll show a $22.1 billion surplus. It's a dramatic improvement from the $78 billion deficit that had been predicted. A low unemployment rate means the government is raking in more income tax revenue and spending less on welfare payments. Strong prices for our resource and agricultural exports has also propped up budget coffers. Even though we're not in deficit, Australia's overall debt still remains high.
Experts say an inquiry into the nation's COVID-19 response shouldn't become a political slanging match. The probe will examine the vaccine rollout, quarantine facilities and other public health measures, but it's been criticised by the federal opposition for excluding state and territory actions like lockdowns and border closures. New research has found people who sleep badly are also more likely to be obese. Brady Evans explains.
A James Cook University study has found 43% of obese adults have poor sleep duration compared to 32% of people in the healthy weight range. 36% of those who are overweight also report poor sleep quality. Researchers say poor sleep duration and quality boosts the secretion of hormones and exacerbates the risk of being overweight. From a behavioural perspective, the likelihood of unhealthy dietary habits is high amongst those who have bad sleep habits. It's also linked with a high risk of depression.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. The stage is set for the first of two blockbuster prelim finals this weekend when Collingwood takes on GWS tonight at the MCG. Nick Dacos returns for the Pies while the Giants are unchanged. Meantime, Harry Mackay and Jack Martin are back for Carlton, but Brisbane defender Jack Payne is out with an ankle injury. Meantime, Richmond has appointed its new coach. Kiara Parker reports.
Adam Uze has been unveiled as Damien Hardwick's successor. Uze was in a battle with caretaker coach Andrew McQualter for the top job. Essendon assistant Daniel Giansira-Accuser, Hawthorn assistant Chris Newman and Richmond assistant Xavier Clark had also been on the Tigers coaching shortlist. Uze was last year overlooked for the senior coaching jobs at GWS and Essendon. The 56-year-old says he feels very humbled to have been given the opportunity.
Australia's cricketers will be in action tonight when they take on India in the first of 3 one-dayers ahead of the World Cup, which begins in a fortnight. Meantime, there's a suggestion injured South Aussie Travis Head could be named in the World Cup squad, despite nursing a broken hand, in the hope he could play in the back end of the tournament. To soccer, mixed results for the English sides in the Europa League this morning, with West Ham and Liverpool both recording wins, but Brighton lost its match to AEK Athens 3-2. Wallabies coach Eddie Jones has lost patience with struggling fly half Carter Gordon. He's expected to be replaced by Ben Donaldson for Monday's must-win World Cup clash with Wales. Another match on this morning has just come to a close with France smashing Namibia 96-0. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
No great hassles for the drive-in today, which is great. Northern Connector flowing well. The freeway accident and breakdown free from Callington all the way through to Glen Osmond. Do have a breakdown on the north-south motorway near Torrens Road, just at Croydon Park. No great delays, which is good. And keep an eye out for works this morning at Burnside, Greenhill Road near Hallett Road. Speeds at 40. Cameron's at Paynes Road, Woodcroft, and Airport Road at Brooklyn Park. Harriscarf's 4-day Friends exclusive sale is on now. 50% off all Manchester by Linen House, Tontine and Dry Glow. Exclusions apply. Ends Sunday. Harriscarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Sunny and 22 today, sunny again tomorrow, 24, up to 28 on Sunday, and partly cloudy for Monday, also 28. At the moment, 9. More news as it happens on 5AA.
And now the marriage vow is very
There's a musical theme this morning. I'm having a lot of fun putting together our Grand Vinyl Eve playlist with your help. We need 18 songs, so we thought we'd get one for every single football team this year. A song that describes where they're at or this season. You can join the dots how you like. Some people very funnily have made it about the supporters. 822 300 is the number. What teams do we have no suggestions for thus far?
We don't have any for the Gold Coast, Sydney or the Bulldogs as of yet. But we are spoilt for choice with so many of the other clubs. Now, I was thinking about the Crows. Well, I've spent a lot of the last month thinking about what might have been. Watching that Carlton-Sydney game, thinking we could have beaten Carlton. Watching the games last week, thinking we could have still been here. We could. It's just hard to stop replaying it in your head. And I was thinking, a song that so beautifully and emotionally captures the sense of being robbed and thinking about what might have been. None other than Whitney Houston. Didn't we almost have it all?
Didn't we almost have it?
Footage of Ben Keys kicking that goal.
The celebrations.
And then that dingbat umpire putting up the one finger, and then the Gil McLachlan press conference on the Sunday.
To round it out, what was your port suggestion?
Well, see, I don't want to keep the war going with Koshy, because we love Koshy. And he's a man of great candour. And he fronts up. And we gave him credit for that yesterday. But hearing his explanation for what happened in season 2023, as has happened in so many other seasons, under the stewardship of one Kay Hinkley, got me thinking about Britney Spears.
Got lost in the game. Could not be a more appropriate lyric, could it? Keep your suggestions coming in, folks. We want one for all 18 teams. We'll pick the best one over the course of the morning. Some of them are already obviously going to be the best.
Some of the suggestions we're getting are borderline defamatory. This is excellent. Mick thinks Essendon's song should be Neil Young's Needle and the Damage Done. It's actually perfect.
Going back a
Because
little way.
since then, it's just been one catastrophe after another.
All right, we'll revisit more of your suggestions and put some more listeners in the running for the meat tray, thanks to Hayden's Family Butcher at Burnside Village very shortly. But first, we're going to jump into the big stories in Adelaide, Australia and the world. I think the top story is the same in all those places this morning. It's where a story about the media has global ramifications. But today is one such day because Rupert Murdoch has stepped down from News Corp.
The global Australian. Australians are naturally a competitive people. Maybe it's because of where Australia sits geographically. But whatever the reason, Australians are curious about the world. And the great Australian diaspora proves we've never been shy about taking it on. That is a testament, I think, to our competitive streak.
That's Rupert Murdoch speaking in 2013 at a Lowy Institute appearance, talking about Australia, and I think talking about himself a little bit too, talking about the Australian diaspora and not being afraid to take it on and have a go. Well, he certainly did that in building a media empire over 7 decades. It's a remarkable legacy that he leaves. It'll be Lachlan Murdoch who steps into the role, albeit in the email that he sent out to staff last night. This is how the story broke. Didn't hold a press conference. He didn't tweet it. Sent an email out to the staff of News Limited. He said, for my entire professional life, I've been engaged daily with news and ideas, and that will not change. But the time is right for me to take on different roles. So he'll be now Chairman Emeritus of News Corp, and the same at Fox Corporation in the United States as well. Lachlan Murdoch will become the sole chair of News Corp. And continue as the executive chair and chief executive of Fox Corporation.
All started down the road here on North Terrace.
It's an Adelaide story,
the Adelaide
isn't it?
News. It's extraordinary. Amazing that, a worldwide empire started with a now defunct afternoon newspaper that so many of our older listeners grew up with, used to buy it on the way home. And look, there's absolutely no doubt that Rupert Murdoch is a polarising figure. The thing that I genuinely admire about the man is that he wanted to popularise the media, and he wanted to smash this sort of, New York Times style orthodoxy where journalism was seen as something that was purely there for the moneyed classes. It was like the early invention of publishing in a lot of ways. The printing press was seen by some as a dangerous idea because, the great unwashed would have access to ideas and opinions and give them political clout. And that's why, I love the fact that papers like the Tiser and in Sydney papers like the Telegraph, they're of their community. They're not showy, pretentious, la-di-da, upper-class papers. They talk about crime in Adelaide, property prices, local football, all the things that drive our community. They're of the community. And that's why he's been a success, because he gets audiences. And he hires people who are passionate about the communities that they live in, the countries that they're in. And if that means that, sometimes you get people who are seen as going too far opinion-wise or whatever, well, that's the sort of cornerstone of democracy, isn't it? Being able to have a newspaper that might have Andrew Bolt there one day and, me arguing a totally opposite thing the next day. He likes a stink. He's the agree to disagree guy. And that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. Other news around this morning. This defies belief. Have a listen to this bit of audio we've got. This is just a couple of days ago when, sadly, we crossed to the island at the time. A stack of businesses in Kingscote went up in flames. At the time, it was determined to be an electrical fault.
Yeah, just seeing the building alight and, feel quite empty, feel gutted. We've been allowed access to walk in there and have a look, but everything's damaged, all the meat, everything.
Shocked? Yeah, a bit shocked, a bit surprised. Yeah, super thankful no one was hurt, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the Lighthouse Cafe copped it, the Butcher copped it as well. Well, last night, yet another blaze. Same cafe, same group of buildings. The CFS was called again just before 7 o'clock last night. There were pictures online of an absolute inferno burning again. The flames took until 10 p.m. to put out, and again, Fire Corps investigators will attend the scene. The Advertiser's reporting that they think it got reignited. Now, there's no further information than that yet. I mean, it's clear something started a blaze there, but it does invite some speculation as to what the original cause might well have been and whether there's a criminal issue at play here or indeed the worst luck ever has just been experienced.
When you think about bushfires and you hear about fires starting up again where there's burning logs that sit there for days, if not weeks, and the heat is so intense that it's still there. But does that happen with buildings? Particularly when the fireys were there 3 days ago, you would have thought they gave it a pretty good blasting with the hoses then.
Yeah, they've got in there and investigated what the cause was. So
I mean, heaven forbid that all 5 of these fires now, 4, heaven forbid that there's an arsonist running around.
We're going to be that would be the natural human fear if you're on the island at the moment. We'll be speaking with the Mayor, Michael Pengilly, shortly.
There's hardly any police over there. Like it's such a small community, such a remote community.
Yeah, we're going to cross there a couple of times this morning because it is a concerning and developing story on KI. We like this bit of cheek, Talking about newspapers this morning with Rupert Murdoch standing down. OTR have bought a full-page advertisement on page 17 of the Tiser this morning.
This is excellent.
Entitled, "An Open Letter to the 20 Suspended Students." Of course, earlier in the week, kids went and bought some steak, got suspended afterwards.
Scotch kids buying Scotch fillet.
Yeah, once upon a time, kids, to tell them to don't do drugs or smokes, and now you're getting suspended for going to buy steak in the night, and things have certainly changed. The advertisement reads thus: "Look, we get it. Cravings don't have a curfew. It was late, the food at camp didn't hit the spot, and just down the road an OTR stocked the brim with delicious treats. Who wouldn't think to themselves, I could go a Moe's?"
Go a Moe's. Go a Moe's.
Was it the best decision? No, but we understand the urge. And who can think straight when they're hungry? So the next time you're feeling a little famished, it's on us. Just send OTR a copy of your suspension letter to oops@goamos.com.au along with a promise not to skip out on camp again, and we'll give you a free Moe's hot dog and shake. Easy.
It's a beautiful bit of ambush advertising, isn't it?
P.S. This is a one-time deal. Don't anyone getting any crazy ideas.
It's excellent.
I think that's superb.
I think too, like if that was one of my kids, I don't think I'd be that angry at them.
Well, which is sort of in part the story, because some of the parents were going,
Yeah.
You get suspended for this these days?
Well, I suppose rules are rules. But
suspension is a big... Holding you out of learning is a huge penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But... and yeah, I think it's over the top. Over the top. But great work on the run.
Terrific. Great piece of advertising. Let's check traffic. We'll come back with more in just a moment. Kiesa, if you've tired of back pain, time to try Kiesa, KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will. Pretty smooth sailing for the run-in today, which is great. The freeway's looking really good, actually, from Bridgewater all the way into Glen Osmond. Southern Expressway flowing well. Do have a breakdown at Croydon Park to look out for. It's on the north-south motorway into Torrens Road. No great delays, but do have cameras to keep in mind. Education Road, Happy Valley, and Great Terrace at Rosewater. Bunnings can help you kickstart your home projects with the lowest prices. Shop great value on hand tools, power tools, accessories and more online or at your local Bunnings. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
What is going on up north? CEO of the Northern Adelaide Local Health Network, Marie Geraghty, on the line.
Our hospitals are very busy, but I can assure everyone that patients presenting to our emergency department are prioritised based on clinical need.
Weekday mornings from 9.
You talk about wanting to improve, but nothing has changed.
On 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Great news for people on the move. Budget Car and Truck Rental have a new location just north of the city at 354 North East Road, Clemzig. Open 7 days a week. So, if you're moving out or in, taking a load to the tip or going on a big trip, you can do it all with Budget Car and Truck Rental. 7 metro locations, including their new site at Clemzig. Call 13 27 27. That's 13 27 27.
This Sunday, Glenelgan's Third will battle for glory in the Host Plus Sandford League Grand Final. Grab your friends and family and head to Adelaide Oval from 11 a.m. to experience the Festival of Footy. There's heaps of activities, entertainment and giveaways, and as always, kids' entry is free. After the action, join us for Play On, the official after party. Kicking off at Adelaide's biggest rooftop bar, the Lindsay Head Terrace Adelaide Oval, featuring Hot Tub Time Machine and Dusain. Get your game day and after party tickets from Ticket Tech. The Host Plus Sandford League Grand Final. Nothing beats it.
Every dog in Adelaide will be hanging out for this Sunday because this Sunday is Dogs Day Out, 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Mabara Park, Mawson Lakes.
It's a free community event run by the Lions Club of Salisbury and everyone's welcome. There'll be food trucks and dog-related market stalls with everything from vet checks to dog treats.
Dog rescues and charities will also be attending with cute puppies for you to meet. There'll be kids' entertainment too, including a jumping castle, henna, glitter tattoos and face painting.
And look, it wouldn't be a Dog's Day Out without dog performances, giveaways and fun dog competitions with amazing prizes. Enter your dog for Best Dressed Dog, Best Lookalike Dog and Handler and Waggiest Tail or Bottom.
Don't miss Dog's Day Out this Sunday, 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Mabara Park, Mawson Lakes. And remember to bring your dogs.
G'day, it's Baz from Fleurieu Milk Company. South Australian dairy farmers are doing it tough right now. But at Fleurieu Milk, we always look after our own, and you can too. When you reach for milk, reach for Fleurieu Milk and help support our hard-working South Australian dairy farmers and their families. Because right now, they need our help. 3 words make all the difference. Fleurieu Milk Company. South Australian first and proud of it.
The BMW sale event is on now. Experience exceptional savings at your local BMW dealer today. While stocks last, receive a $5,000 trade-in bonus, plus a 5-year BMW service package on all demonstrators across the BMW range. This exceptional offer is only available from your local BMW dealer. Adelaide BMW West Terrace Adelaide and Glenelg BMW Brighton Road Glenelg. Don't miss it. Demonstrator sale event on now.
Step up your off-road camping game. Step up to independent coil spring suspension and reinforced shocks. Step up to a Red Arc battery management system. This summer, step up to an Austrac camper.
Austrac!
Austrac!
Austrac campers!
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Breakfast on 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
24 after 7, Timmy G in a moment. But all this week we've been asking you to jump on the website, 5AA.com.au, to book in to get to the Adelaide Exposed Concrete 5AA Golf Day at the magnificent Glenelg Golf Club. Thanks to the great people at Adelaide Exposed Concrete for making this a reality. Contact them for all your concreting needs. Maybe you've got a new house too. Call Adelaide Exposed Concrete, best on ground all year round. We've got Jacob on the line. Jacob has done all the right things, entered the competition, and we've got great news for you, Jacob. You and 3 friends are coming along to 5AA's All-Star Golf Day. Who's in your foursome, Jacob?
Sorry, mate?
Who's in your foursome? Who are you bringing?
Oh, it's a couple of boys with a handicap a little bit better than mine, so hopefully that'll...
What are you hitting off?
I'm off to, I think it's 26 and a half at the moment.
What are they off?
We've got a shave off. They're 15s and 17s. So.
Jeez, they're weekly golfers.
Did you play last year, Jacob?
I did, yeah. I had a sensational day out there last year, mate.
Yeah, it was good fun, wasn't it? But how bad was the weather, though? Surely it can't be anything like that again this year.
Yeah, well, let's hope not. She did rain a bit all day there, but hopefully we're in for a better time.
Oh, that'll be magnificent this year. Good on you, Jacob. Thank you for being part of it.
Such a good course, Glenelg. That was the first time I'd ever played on a private course. Apart from Pebble Beach, of course. With that exception.
One of the great sentences that's ever been said aloud on radio. Jacob, you've got obviously you've got the golf, but you've got the custom Titleist hat, the on-course food and beverage, 2-course sit-down lunch and beverage, and you get to see all the guest speakers and the wonderful things that go into what will be an excellent day at Glenelg Golf Club. Jacob and a whole host of other listeners and 5AA people will be there as well. It's going to be a cracking day. Let's talk footy on what is going to be a series of cracking days over the weekend with Timmy G.
And speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Geneva.
Tim Geneva on 5AA Breakfast.
Timmy G! $17 Schnitty Monday to Wednesday at the Albion, Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a Barrow Hotel. Timmy, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Gee, I'll tell you what, finals, it just gets you up and about regardless. I know we're both sort of now onlookers, if you like, but I think finals get you up and about, and they've normally delivered. I mean, I think we've seen some terrific football both in SANFL and AFL, so we're in for another great weekend, I reckon.
Absolutely, Tim. Sunday's going to be massive. I reckon we'll get a big crowd too, with the weather being so good as well.
Oh, look, it couldn't be set up better. I was actually a bit stunned to find out, you know, it's 39 years, or 40, 1974, wasn't it? So nearly 49 years since these two have met in a grand final. So I think it's really set up nicely. Sturt have done it the hard way, and they're a tough, in close, they can close you down type team up against what is a very, very good outfit that can hit the scoreboard in the Tigers. So I reckon it's going to be a really good grand final, one that probably won't get broken open until late.
So take us through your tips. I think it's kind of intriguing, including the SANFL grand final, Timmy, that and the AFL prelims, because there's almost any combination of names and teams you could say that I could envisage either going through to the grand final or winning on Sunday.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Will, and that's the difficult thing to pick. But I think if I was putting a $10 on it, I'm going to go Brisbane to beat Carlton, and that's purely on home ground advantage.
Yeah.
Collingwood GWS is a much harder tip, I think. GWS, I think I heard you say earlier, Pembo, they just don't care. And I love that. They don't care where they play, who they play, why they play. And they've got this incredible attitude. They were asked about, you've only got a 6-day break. And they said, well, that's okay, because that gives us an 8-day break to the grand final. So their attitude is we're already going there. It's a great attitude. But, look, I think it's very difficult. I think Collingwood will take the chocolates here. It'll be a Brisbane-Collingwood grand final. And Sturt Glenelg, a tough one, but I think the guys with the week off and the superior firepower, the Tigers will get up in that one.
Hey, Tim, I didn't get a chance to chat to you yesterday, mate, but great work hosting the Carbine Club lunch in its 40th year. They do a lot of great work for charities such as Navita. and so forth. But it's good that our comp, that the local SANFL comp, has still got such a significant following. Like it's not like the waffle. It's not like any of the other state leagues. Like it's robust, and I reckon we can crack hopefully 30K on Sunday.
I think we'll do that easy, Pembo, and I just think the passion for it is fantastic. You see in that room, there was a whole table of Magarey medalists sitting there. There was Barry Robin, John Albert, there was Grantley Filkey, Andrew Jarman. Like it was just full of superstars in the room. And we had Terry Danaher and, of course, Stephen Kernahan on the stage. It was just fantastic. I could have sat there for days, mate, but unfortunately I had to do a show.
Hey, Timmy, before we let you go, you got a suggestion for the Meat Tray Friday this morning?
Yeah, I'm loving your songs, but I thought for the Adelaide Crows, and I know it's been a bit of doom and gloom, but I'm taking two positives here. Adelaide Crows, I thought Timbuk 3. The future's so bright, we've got to wear shades. So I think and for Port Adelaide, the old Chumbawamba tub thumping. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down.
Inspirational. Good on you, Timmy.
Good on you, boys.
Speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Ginnivan.
Tim Ginnivan on 5AA Breakfast.
Timmy G! 5AA News is on the way. On the other side of it, we're off to KI. We're going to get to the latest on this bizarre situation where the fire that started earlier in the week has come back in the same businesses and buildings in Kingscote where it was before. So we'll get to the bottom of that next.
You've decided to build? It's exciting stuff. When you've found land, it's a good idea to get advice on what you can build on your new parcel of paradise. Get Steve from Beechwood Homes to take a look. There's no obligation, and you'll get a great understanding of what's possible. Sloping block, flat block, weird shaped block, or block on a cliff. Speak with Steve from Beechwood Homes for all the possibilities. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 22 with the 7:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Complete windscreen supply and fit, front, rear and door glass. Proudly South Australian since 1976.
Media mogul Rupert Murdoch has announced he's stepping down as chairman of Fox and News Corp. More from Alison Petrowski.
After 7 decades at the helm of Fox and News Corporation, Rupert Murdoch says the time is right. In a letter to his staff, he named his 52-year-old son Lachlan as his successor and announced he will transition to the role of chairman emeritus in November. The Australian-born media mogul took control of News Limited from his father, Sir Keith Murdoch, in 1954 and has become one of the most powerful global figures in news. The 92-year-old says both he and his companies are in good health and that he'll remain involved on a day-to-day basis. The transition comes after a tumultuous period for Fox Corporation. Earlier this year, Fox News had to pay more than $1 billion to Dominion Voting Systems for the lies the network told during the 2020 election.
There's been another death on our roads. A 53-year-old man from Cudler died after a crash at Reeves Plains yesterday afternoon. His car collided with a truck on Gawler Road. The truck driver, a 52-year-old man from One Tree Hill, suffered minor injuries and was taken to the RAH. 82 lives have now been lost on our roads this year compared to 54 a year ago. The cause of a fire on Kangaroo Island will be investigated today after a business already ravaged by a blaze reignited overnight. The CFS was called to the Lighthouse Cafe with the blaze spreading to an adjoining butcher. Brittany Evans from the CFS says it's doubled the damage bill to $1 million.
On arrival, crews found the building engulfed in flames, with fire breaching through the roof. Volunteer firefighters worked from outside the building to control the fire within an hour.
Meantime, a damage bill of more than $250,000 has been left by a fire at Highbury. The blaze broke out at a home on Domain Common, destroying several motorbikes and cars in a garage. Workers at Australian poultry giant Ingham's are walking off the job over a pay dispute. They've begun strike action at factories in SA and WA after the company refused to offer a fair wage increase. The federal budget's in surplus to the tune of $22.1 billion for this financial year. The final budget outcome for 2022-23 will be released by the Albanese government today. Higher income tax revenue and stronger earnings from exports have mainly contributed to the windfall. Doctors are questioning the federal government's decision not to examine state and territory decisions in the pandemic inquiry. The year-long probe will focus on measures introduced by the Commonwealth. The opposition claims it's a flawed plan, accusing the government of trying to shield Labor premiers from scrutiny. Dr Nick Coatsworth says we'll fail to learn lessons from the pandemic if we ignore lockdowns, school closures and sealed domestic borders.
I don't know how you can do that and have an effective inquiry. But it's sometimes useful to use a clear example. And look, everybody's eyes are turned south to Dan Andrews. He's the one that locked down for the longest in the world.
King Charles has become the first British monarch to make a speech in the French Senate. More from Kari-Ann Greenbank.
In King Charles's historic speech to the French Senate, he urged French politicians to do more to tackle the climate crisis, a day after British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announced he would be scaling back green initiatives. The monarch also pledging to strengthen the relationship between the UK and France. His speech delivered on day 2 of the King and Queen's state visit to France, which had plenty of light moments as well, including an impromptu table tennis match between Camilla and France's First Lady, King Charles looking on rather bemused.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Collingwood will be hoping to use the crowd in tonight's prelim final against GWS. More than 90,000 fans are expected to pack the MCG, most of them Magpies fans. Coach Craig McRae says he's looking to utilise that advantage.
It's a huge advantage for us. I was involved in a footy club, Richmond, across the road, and we played a prelim final years ago against GWS, and the roar of the crowd when Richmond kicked their first goal was significant. I've never heard anything like it. That is an advantage. You have to play against that.
Meantime, Richmond has named Adam Uze as its new senior coach, fighting off caretaker coach Andrew McWalter for the top job. Well, a Wallabies legend says Eddie Jones has questions to answer as Australia struggles to stay alive at the World Cup. The 1991 World Cup winning skipper Nick Farr-Jones fears the Wallabies will lose to Wales on Monday and bow out of the tournament. He's told Wide World of Sports Jones should have selected more experienced players.
To me, in World Cups, you don't pick experimental teams and use experimental captains. So yes, Eddie surely has got some questions to answer, and that's one of the issues about Eddie. He just seems to shoot from the hip. Everything's fine.
Mixed results for the English sides in Europa League action this morning. Liverpool had a 3-1 win against Austrian side Lask. West Ham also 3-1 winners against Serbian side TSC, but Brighton went down 3-2 against AEK Athens, while Aston Villa also lost 3-2 to Polish side Legia Warsaw.
Worked away to the far side, and Villa with some defending to do once more. It's Pavel Shoek, the scorer of the opening goal. Great chance, 2-1.
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. And that is the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
A couple of breakdowns to look out for this morning. You'll find one at Eastwood, broken down truck there, Fullerton Road near Greenhill Road, causing a couple of headaches. Another one at Mawson Lakes. It's on the Salisbury Highway, broken down car just near Eldersmith Road there. Lane closed at Winvale this morning, the Golden Way near Rodeo Drive, and look out for cameras mostly Street Glenelg South and Ocean Boulevard at Seacliff Park. The Adelaide Central Market is open today. Shop the best fresh local produce, cheap eats and essentials. With over 70 traders under one roof, there's something for everyone at Adelaide Central Market. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Sunny and 22 today, sunny tomorrow 24, up to 28 on Sunday, and partly cloudy for Monday, also 28. At the moment 11. More news as it happens on 5AA.
I'm Kathy Nagel, the Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Eye healthcare, cataract surgery and glaucoma management are all health issues that can appear unexpectedly, and specialist treatment is often required. Western Eye Care at Western Hospital boasts 7 ophthalmic surgeons, on-site diagnostics, surgery options and a wide range of aftercare for all eye healthcare needs. For more information, visit westernhospital.com.au or call 8159 1200. That's 8159 1200.
South Australia boasts many one-of-a-kind destinations, but only one has the best local produce, super specials, cheap eats, pantry essentials and more.
With over 70 traders under one roof, the Adelaide Central Market has something for everyone. It's open every Tuesday to Saturday with late night trading Friday, plus live music and free kids activities on Saturday. If you can't visit the market, order online for home delivery every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. AdelaideCentralMarket.com.
This Sunday, Glenelgan's Third will battle for glory in the Host Plus Sandford League Grand Final. Grab your friends and family and head to Adelaide Oval from 11 a.m. to experience the Festival of Footy. There's heaps of activities, entertainment and giveaways, and as always, kids entry is free. After the action, join us for Play On, the official after party, kicking off at Adelaide's biggest rooftop bar, the Lindsay Head Terrace Adelaide Oval, featuring Hot Tub Time Machine and Dusain. Get your game day and after party tickets from Ticket Tech. The Host Plus Sandford League Grand Final. Nothing beats it.
Way back in 1974, Gliderol Garage Doors began manufacturing and installing garage doors in South Australia. A lot has changed since then, but our commitment to quality remains as strong as ever. We have garage door solutions of all kinds. Not only do we have traditional doors, our timber look or custom designer doors ensure your house will make a style statement. For a free measure and quote and helpful advice, give Gliderol a call, 1300 799 177, or go to gliderol.com.au.
Visit Audi Solitaire and experience tomorrow on your terms. Take advantage of an exceptional offer on selected Audi A3, Q2, Q5 and Q7 models with Audi Choice. With new and demonstrator stock available now for delivery, be quick as this exceptional offer ends September 30. Book your test drive today at audisolitaire.com.au. Available to approved applicants of Audi Financial Services. Eligibility criteria apply. Conditions and fees apply. To see if this product is right for you, see website for TMD. DL 65541.
Before you do a thesis in dishwasher, depart on an oven odyssey, or make a pilgrimage up Mount Washing Machine. Just trying to work out what appliances to get? Drop into Adelaide Appliance Gallery. We're here to make your life easier. We've got the best advice, best appliances, and the best offers all in one place. Like 10% off Asco appliances, plus a 10-year warranty. Make your life easier with Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Payneham Road, St Peters.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
20 to 8, remember you can interact with and watch the program by way of the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. Might feel a bit like deja vu, this next story, because earlier in the week we caught up with the Mayor of Kangaroo Island, Michael Pengilly, about fire that had torn through the Lighthouse Cafe and the nearby butcher. The fire cause investigators attended the scene and at the time determined that it was came about as an electrical fault. Well, last night I started getting texts from people saying, have a look at these pictures. It's the same spot ablaze yet again. It's raising a few eyebrows here, and I bet too, on the island. Michael Pengilly, the Mayor, joins us again. Michael, what have you managed to glean from the scene? Is this just a horrible accident that's happened again, or is there something suspicious going on, do you think?
Well, morning, gentlemen. Morning to your listeners. Look, I don't know. On Monday, CFS was still there. Fire cause investigators were there. I think Tuesday, the insurance assessors were there. And after they had moved out, the business owners were able to get into their properties. There's been no power connected as far as I know. So I just don't know. I think the police need to really double down on having a look at what started last night, because I can't answer it and I don't want to jump to any conclusion on anything. It's terribly disappointing, and it's most concerning that these people need to get on with their lives, try and re-establish, if possible, a business. The property owners need to get down and work out what they're going to do. And to have this again last night, like you, I was just bewildered when I got a photo last night.
Can I ask, Michael, I'm not trying to do the time-honoured media thing here, mate, of just stirring up rumour and speculation for no good reason, but do people have any suspicions on the island or any concerns that there might be some foul play at work here?
I guess that's a leading question. Look, there's always sort of people jump to conclusions without really knowing anything about it. I'm just asking that the police double down on what they're doing. The investigators, there's 2 detectives on site last night, apparently. I believe they were here. I wasn't in there. I was home, actually. I didn't get home till late. So, look, the fire at Penneshaw, there's been nothing that indicated that was suspicious. The fire at the Odd Plate back here a few weeks ago, I don't believe there's anything to indicate that was suspicious, but certainly with the fire on Sunday and then it reigniting or whatever happened last night, 4 days later, people will sort of formulate ideas in their head. That's human nature, I think, David.
Yeah.
So, it's unfortunate, but I do not want to cast any aspersions on anything, and
sure.
I really would. At the risk of being repetitive, I think the police really need to double down on their efforts here.
Yeah, totally.
And check it all out. It's unbelievable.
When the fire on Sunday died down, Michael, we know at the time we spoke at the Lighthouse Cafe and the butcher there as well. Once the full impact of the damage was able to be assessed, were any of those places in a position, namely the butcher, I think I heard some people talking about, to be able to either reopen or had they escaped the worst of it? I'm just trying to think how much this has changed the game for any of those businesses there now that the fire has kicked in again.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look today. Okay. Cafe Scrumptious was looking quite promising, I think. But one of the issues is there's asbestos there in the fire ground, and so asbestos dust, if it gets into these other buildings, apparently, I'm told, everything has to be replaced inside. So, and that takes ordering and everything else that goes with it. The butcher shop wasn't too badly damaged inside. I suspect they were looking at trying to operate from somewhere else if possible. The lighthouse was decimated. I went down yesterday. I got back from a couple of meetings at American River, went down about 1:15, 1 o'clock, and there was a vehicle backed into the lighthouse. I didn't go right down, and there were some people going in and out, but there was nothing untoward about it.
Yeah.
We're going to cross back to the island a little bit later in the morning as more information comes to light, but we really appreciate you making yourself available to talk again, Michael Pengelly, the Mayor of the Kangaroo Island Council there. You just as Michael correctly points out, fire calls, they will determine the cause and we'll have more to work with when we get some hard facts. But could you imagine just being someone who lives there or runs a business there? Because human nature being what it is, your mind wanders to something deliberate going on.
That's right.
You got to live and operate and work in that environment.
Well, when you and I were texting each other last night, like the whole tone of the conversation was, what?
Yeah.
And after all that poor island has been through, crikey.
Well, imagine being the butcher, so you think, oh, thank God we've had a near-death experience, you know, in a business sense.
Yeah.
Well, then the building goes up again, and who knows, maybe now you are completely unable to trade there any time in the foreseeable future.
Shocking.
It's absolutely devastating.
Razz Fantasia, intercepted almost by a Razz Fantasia, a Razz Fantasia, a Razz Fantasia, a Razz Fantasia, a Razz. Ho ho ho! It's magic, you know. Never believe it's not so.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. Razz, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Mate, we're good. It's probably been a pretty flat old week down at Port Adelaide, though.
Yeah, that's probably a nice way to put it, I think. Very disappointing way to finish. Obviously, we didn't want to end like that. So it's sort of been, having a few beers and drowning your sorrows, really. That sort of week.
Yeah, was there a bit of a drink on? Was there a bit of a get together for the boys? Were you part of that?
Yeah, we did have a few beers, but it was pretty tame, to be honest. It was pretty sad sort of week. So, it's not one where you're really celebrating too much.
Yeah, no one's getting dressed up.
No, there's none of that.
Forgetting, coaches and club history and so forth. When you guys are all those players sitting around having a chat, what's the diagnosis of what happens in finals? Why do you think it's been subpar for the last few years?
Yeah, well, I think we're sitting back and reflecting on the season. We've still had a good season. We won 13 in a row, and I know everyone will say we didn't play well in finals, which we didn't, and we understand that, and we probably lost some key indicators in contested possession and clearances and things like that, which add up to winning and losing in finals games. So that's probably where we sit down and talk and say, well, that's where we need to get better. But as players, you still reflect and go, geez, we won 13 in a row. We did do some good things. It's not all I know we lost, but it's not all doom and gloom. I think people would be excited. The brand of footy we're playing, young midfield coming through. Like, there's still some, exciting times ahead.
Speaking of exciting times ahead, you sounded pretty positive coming out of your exit meeting I saw earlier in the week. Is that a fair characterisation of where you're at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. We had a good discussion in there. We're probably in there for half an hour, just seeing where things play. And I understand that I haven't played enough football, and that I really want to, and they want me to as well. So, we're just working out how it looks. But a one-year deal, I think, is where we sort of left the room.
Oh, that's superb news.
That's excellent.
That'd be fantastic news. We're delighted to hear that, because it felt like you in the end kind of got robbed by the football calendar, and you just got your body right, hit some form, and the football ended.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we said, and that was frustrating. And essentially, the coach said you probably just ran out of time a little bit, which is, hard to hear as well, because I felt like I'd, almost done enough. But that's okay. I think going into an off-season with no surgery, no injuries, is a really good and positive sign for me to now attack a pre-season and an off-season to come back and be ready to go.
I reckon there was still an argument, mate, and I don't expect you to comment, but I reckon you could have found your way into the firsts over the last couple of weeks, and given some of the injuries the other guys were carrying, it might have helped. But it's easy to, with the benefit of hindsight, look back and speculate. Hey, can we get your tips, mate? What do you reckon is going to happen tonight and tomorrow? And also, are you on the double blue train for Sunday, most importantly?
For you, of course I am.
Hey, on your rest.
I hope you can get it done and be nice. So, double blues is one. I honestly think tonight is going to be a cracking game. I think GWS are in amazing form, playing really well and confident in how they're playing, and they like to play that quick sort of attacking game, which will match up really well against Collingwood, I think. So, I actually think GWS might just win that game. And then tomorrow, I think Brisbane, obviously up there, a tough team to beat. But if anyone can do it, it's Carlton. Vossi has those guys up and going, and having knowing Vossi firsthand at Port, he's an amazing coach, an amazing person. So I feel like for him, he deserves to go up there and beat his old side and make it into a grand final. So GWS, Carlton, there you go.
Excellent. Good stuff, mate. Hey, we'll catch up again next week before the grand final, I think. No, we won't. Is this it? Chat. Is this it, mate?
Oh, this is it.
This is it for the year. Oh, no. Well, 1 year deal, another year with us. Let's take it from there and see you in 2024, eh?
Well, we'll see you down at the cafe.
Yes, for
sure.
How close are you to opening?
Very close. Doing some work down here now, making sure it's all ready for your first breakfast.
I've walked past that. I inspected when they were doing work on it the other day on our walk. I tell you what, when it opens, come on, give it a plug. We'll chat with you about it. Small business owner, Razz Fantasia.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys a lot.
Cheers, Razz.
Raz. Well,
world's best bloke.
That is fantastic news.
It's really good news.
Good things happen to good people.
What a great tale of perseverance as well.
Completely.
Like how that bloke. We've sat in here with Rats in the studio where earlier this year it almost felt impolite to ask him how he was going because.
Well, we knew how it was going.
He was really physically doing it tough.
Yeah.
But to get to where he did is bloody terrific. So good on him.
All right, time to. By the way, the cafe, Marlborough Street. He's too polite. Some people go, I'm not sure I can say the business name. We'll do plugs on radio. Commercial radio. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Absolutely.
Right,
unashamedly pro-business.
So Marlborough Street, sort of halfway through between the beach and Chapley's Hill Road.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Good spot.
Hey, we're getting to mountain adventures.
Yeah, we're going to do a mountain of other stuff first, and we're going to get to some more of those. Let's check traffic. Thanks to Keezer. Tired of back pain? Time to try Keezer, KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will. Pretty good down the roads today. Brighton Road looking really nice. Main North Road at Enfield starting to build, but no great delays. Do have some works to look out for at Winvar with a lane closed there. The Golden Wayne Rodeo Drive and getting sluggish South Road at Ferguson. Cameras Great Terrace, Rosewater and Frederick Road at Grange. The King Living Spring Sale is on now. Save up to 50% on selected Australian design indoor and outdoor furniture. Sale on now. Visit the King Living Keswick showroom today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Send me more pics, but unzip all the way.
Hey! Who's sending you pics?
Whoa, hey, don't open that.
Once you've seen an Austrac camper, you'll just want one.
Austrac!
Austrac.
Austrac campers!
Everyone at the back, please. Sitting quietly, please. In a circle, thank you. Today we're going to talk about what we'd like to be when we grow up.
A police girl. Race car driver. I want to be a gymnast. I want to be a concreter. With Adelaide exposed concrete.
I want to be a concreter too.
Me too.
AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au. Best on ground all year round.
What's a concreter?
Energy bills are certainly through the roof. It literally feels like we're pouring money down the drain every time we turn on the hot water tap. Well, thankfully, an amazing company called EcoVantage can help change that up in no time.
EcoVantage can swap out your existing gas or electric hot water system for an energy-efficient heat pump system from little to no cost. Some T's and C's apply.
Imagine saving up to 70% on your water heating costs. And just a reminder that the friendly EcoVantage team will be at the York Peninsula Fields Days event running from the 26th to the 28th of September. Heat pump systems will be on display at the field days, including air conditioning and insulation services.
So pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Catch up with them at the York Peninsula Field Days from the 26th to the 28th of September. Head to ecovantage.com.au for more.
Turn your humble barbie into a humdinger with Hot Shots barbecue briquettes. They burn longer and hotter, offering more consistent heat when cooking. So if it's some quick snags for the kids or a full day cook for family and friends, Hot Shots barbecue briquettes will fuel your flame. To help celebrate the little occasions, check out our Barbie recipes and tips at hotshotsfuel.com.au. Hot Shots barbecue briquettes, 100% Aussie made. Look for them at your local Bunnings today.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Breakfast on 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
4 to 8, we're going to solve our Grand Vinyl Eve playlist after 8 o'clock. Before 9 today, the playlist will be set, and it'll be set with your help.
It's filling up.
There's a meat tray that's on the way too to someone, all thanks to Hayden's Family Butcher Shop, 52 in the Burnside Village. We're getting lots of calls and also Dutton's texts with a huge range of vehicles available on the hills in Murray Bridge. Dutton's can deliver right now. We need a song that describes every team in the AFL. Their 2023 season's a good point of inspiration, but you can use a whole host of other things. Taking your calls, we've got some good ones. We've got some gaps in the playlist as well. We'll summarise it all for you after the 8 o'clock news in just a moment. Right now, it's time for John Blake, thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, Interstate Freight Distribution, Warehousing and Local Adelaide Couriers. Call Aussie Fast, 13 13 64.
Yes, good morning. Well, the referendum show keeps rolling into town. The polls aren't looking all that good for the Yes campaign. The Prime Minister was in Adelaide again to promote the Yes vote. He seems to think that because South Australia was the first state to give women the vote, that for some reason that means we're all going to vote yes. Here now is Anthony Albanese to sing about that.
What goes around? Every now and then I think the voters aren't responding and they think that I'm a clown. Comes around to start a referendum without telling them the meaning of the question. It's not all it appears. You're a clown. Every now and then I think I'll travel to Adelaide cause they're all right on board with me. No, they're not. Albo. Every now and then I think I'm smart, but that may not be just right. And I thought that I was clever. I didn't know it would become a fight. And the voice is looking doomed forever. I just hope that all the polls aren't right. If the people vote no, a federal election and my future's not bright. This is not right. I should have realised I'm white and karma across as patronising. Once upon a time it was quite an idea. Now the whole thing's falling apart. I'll go down with the ship and the Uluru statement from the heart. The Uluru statement from the heart.
Oh, yes. More from John Blake after 8:30. We go behind closed doors. 5AA News breaking today, and your additions to our Grand Vinyl Leaf playlist for the meat tray next.
Winter is almost over, and it's time to get ready for some huge electricity bills. I recommend getting in touch with NRG Solar now to help bring those power bills down, way down, with a solar battery. And NRG will show you how to do it sooner. Add value to your home with a battery that comes with a 10-year warranty and blackout protection that will save you thousands of dollars. All visible on a simple-to-use app. Visit nrgsolar.com.au to own a solar battery sooner.
Visit Audi Solitaire and experience tomorrow on your terms. Take advantage of an exceptional offer on selected Audi A3, Q2, Q5 and Q7 models with Audi Choice. With new and demonstrator stock available now for delivery, be quick as this exceptional offer ends September 30. Book your test drive today at audisolitaire.com.au. Available to approved applicants of Audi Financial Services. Eligibility criteria apply. Conditions and fees apply. To see if this product is right for you, see website for TMD. DL 65541.
In tough times, it's the simple things that make a big difference. Like $17 schnitzel days at Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. We know the humble schnitty can't fix all our problems, but we do know it'll put a smile on your dial. $17 schnitties Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. Making the world a better place, one schnitty at a time. Got to start somewhere. You just know it's a Barreau hotel.
Don't just send it, ace it. If your current job is driving you bonkers, well, get outdoors and hit the road. Here's Chris from ASIC Couriers to tell you how.
Thanks, Rowie. ASIC Couriers is growing, and we need more drivers to keep our promise of perfect service. So if you want a career that'll take you places, get in touch with us at ASIC Couriers. Visit asiccouriers.com.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 22 with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens can repair it from just $99. Look for the big red koala.
There's been a huge turnaround in Australia's finances. The budget's in surplus for the first time in 15 years. Higher income tax revenue and stronger earnings from exports are driving the change. Treasurer Jim Chalmers says it's a significant milestone.
This is the first surplus in 15 years. It's not an end in itself, and it hasn't prevented us from rolling out billions of dollars in cost of living relief, but it's a really important demonstration of the way that we are managing our budget and our economy responsibly. We're getting the budget in much better nick.
A man's died after his car collided with a truck at Reeves Plains near Gawler yesterday. The 53-year-old from Cudler died at the scene. The 52-year-old truck driver suffered minor injuries. It brings the road toll to 82 compared to 54 at this time last year. Firefighters were called back to a popular Kangaroo Island cafe last night, only days after it was devastated by fire. The blaze at Lighthouse Cafe at Kingscote reignited, with flames spreading to the butcher next door. CFS crews put out the fire around 10 p.m, and Fire Corps investigators will attend the scene this morning. The total damage bill is around $1 million. Australia's chicken supply could be at risk as workers walk off the job at one of our biggest poultry producers, Ingham's. Hundreds of workers are striking for 24 hours unless the company agrees to a 6% pay rise. The action's taking place in SA and WA. Well, disability support workers claim poor pay and working conditions are affecting quality of care. Emily Minnie reports.
The Australia Institute's Centre for Future Work has found a growing reliance on independent contractors and digital platforms is leading to poorer outcomes for participants on the NDIS. Under the National Disability Insurance Scheme, some workers are earning as little as $24 an hour. The centre is proposing mandatory registration and accreditation for support workers and wants them to be paid at least $10 more an hour. It also wants all NDIS service providers to become registered. The centre's policy director has told The Australian the current structure of the scheme is not sustainable and is threatening workforce stability.
Rupert Murdoch is stepping down as chairman of Fox and News Corp after a 70-year career. In a memo to employees, the 92-year-old said the time is right to move on to other roles. His son Lachlan will take over. Rupert will transition to the role of chairman emeritus. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has warned Ukraine will lose the war to Russia unless America provides more military aid. Jonathan Kersley is at the White House.
President Zelensky arrived at the White House with his wife to be greeted by US President Joe Biden and the First Lady. Inside the Oval Office there was talk of more air defence support for Ukraine, but on Capitol Hill there is a battle being waged over government spending and the funding of America's support for Ukraine's war effort. Some Republicans don't want to pass a bill that would allow $37 billion Australian dollars of military aid to flow to Ukraine. So today, President Zelensky also went to the Capitol building to press the flesh with Congress and try and win them over. And the stakes are high. President Zelensky says without the money, Ukraine could lose the war. And the American government says without the bills passing, government in the United States could shut down.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide forward Razz Fantasia looks set to be offered a one-year deal for next year. The 28-year-old has played only 4 games in the past 2 seasons at the Power because of injury, but he's told David and Will he's had some honest and positive discussions.
You know, I understand that I haven't played enough football. And that I really want to, and they want me to as well. So, you know, we're just working out how it looks, but a one-year deal, I think, is where we sort of left the room.
Carlton has recalled Jordan Boyd for tomorrow's prelim final against Brisbane, coming in for Brodie Kemp. David Cunningham and Matthew Owies make way for the return of Harry Mackay and Jack Martin. Ollie Hollands has been elevated from the sub to the starting 22. Nick Dacos is back for Collingwood for tonight's match, while GWS goes into the clash unchanged. Australia's cricketers will take on India tonight in the first of 3 one-dayers ahead of next month's World Cup. Meantime, there's some renewed hope South Aussie Travis Head will be named in the World Cup squad in the hope he could play in the back end of the tournament as he recovers from a broken hand. In Europa League action this morning, Liverpool has beaten Lask 3-1. Brighton has gone down to AEK Athens 3-2, while Aston Villa also lost 3-2 to Legia Warsaw. West Ham has beaten Serbian club TSC 3-1. The Rugby League prelim finals kick off tonight with the reigning premiers Penrith Panthers hosting the Melbourne Storm in what is promising to be an absolute cracker. And France has racked up a cricket score at the Rugby World Cup. The host nation has annihilated Namibia 96-0. They ran in a whopping 14 tries to remain unbeaten in the tournament. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
Shouldn't have too many hassles getting to work, which is always nice on a Friday. Southern Expressway accident breakdown free. The freeway's looking the goods today from Mount Barker all the way through to Glen Osmond. Do have a lane closed to look out for at Eastwood, Glen Osmond Road near Fullerton Road. That's where there's ongoing works there. Speeds at 40 with cameras this morning. Land Road, Trott Park and Port Road at Cheltenham. Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, sorts out your kids' activities these school holidays. Get your tickets now to Paw Patrol, the mighty movie in cinemas now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
A sunny day heading for 22. Sunny again tomorrow, 24, up to 28 on Sunday, and partly cloudy on Monday, also 28. At the moment, 14. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
We love working with Clarity Records to come up with our grand vinyl eve party. We need 18 songs this year. The inspiration of those 18 songs is the 18 AFL teams' 2023 seasons. You provide the song that describes best where each club is at. Well, the list is coming together pretty well. I'm not sure we've got any major gaps. I think we haven't had many suggestions for Sydney.
No.
But you've got one, David.
I've got one. I think, what can you say about a club that only makes the 8 on account of the AFL's own incompetence when it comes to the credibility of the goal umpiring system? Kylie Minogue, take it away. Jason in Modbury North for GWS, he suggested Underneath the Radar by Interpol, which is not only particularly apt, but a great tune. Yep. And one here for fans of straight edge punk rock. Todd has suggested Minor Threat by Minor Threat for West Coast, which about 3 of our listeners will get. It certainly titillated me. Todd, thank you.
Keep them coming in. We're going to take a whole stack of calls in a moment. The other thing has happened whilst we've been at news, we've been contacted by SAPOL, who have got an update for us on the situation on Kangaroo Island. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. First, though, it's Breaking It Out.
Well, it's been a stressful week for Adelaide's restaurants, cafes and pubs, with the Fair Work Ombudsman staging a series of surprise audits around town where staff from the government department have been arriving unannounced to check wage payments, visa conditions and go through paperwork applying to hospitality workers. Now, this is obviously important work, but the manner in which it's being done has got some owners saying they feel less like audits and more like raids. We spoke to one restaurateur who said that when the auditors arrived, they told the staff none of them were allowed to leave, none of them could take breaks until everyone had been spoken to, and then they even bailed up one worker who's an Australian citizen and asked to see her visa because she had an accent. Now, this restaurateur told me that the process took several hours, and he described it as one of the most stressful days of his working life. Now, the concern in the industry is such that the AHA has sent circulars out to members warning them that these audits are underway, but also law-abiding businesses are asking why it is that they have to take the effect of feeling more like raids as opposed to a civilised and calm exchange of information relating to the way workers are being remunerated.
10 minutes after 8, Assistant Commissioner Ian Parrott joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Ian, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Morning, David. Morning, Will.
What's your latest information about what's happened over on Kangaroo Island with regard to this second fire?
Yeah, look, if I can just take people back to the first fire. When that occurred, we had obviously investigations undertaken, including fire techs go over there. The assessment of that first fire at the time was that it was a non-suspicious fire, probably caused by an electrical fault. This second fire, though, we actually don't know what the actual cause of that is. We have had the premises scene guarded last night. We have got our investigators over there on the island, and there will be fire techs heading down to the island today. So one of the theories we're looking at is that there has been a reignition of some sort, but until we actually get the fire investigators down there, we actually won't know what the cause of this second fire is.
So when you say reignition, Assistant Commissioner, does that reignition mean something innocent, like that the fire had not been fully put out, or perhaps there was a second fault? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, well, this is the trouble. Until we actually get our fire techs in there to have a good look at it, then we won't really know. So, speculation amongst the community is not really helpful. Sure. At this point in time, in terms of what has occurred. So what we do is we make sure that we keep a very open mind in relation to what the cause is, because as everyone's been talking about this morning, it's unusual for this type of thing to occur. But if you think of it from a campfire or a bushfire type environment, you do get reignitions in those types of environments where the heat sources remain quite tight. And I understand that the insulation in the roofing down there is quite old and it does consist of straw and bits and pieces like that. So, we're not saying, we can't say actually what the cause of this is at this particular time, but we don't want people speculating about what's going on just because it is a little bit unusual.
Sure.
Like I said, the fire techs and investigators are heading down there today. They're the ones that will be able to unpack, what's happened or what's likely to have happened and hopefully be able to determine the cause. And of course, as soon as we have that information, then we'll let people know.
Did you say, Assistant Commissioner, the scene was guarded? Is that what you said at the start?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, when we have fires like this, we always put a scene guard on it so that we can preserve the scene, so that specialist investigators can make their way down, and so that like I said, with any investigation, really, you preserve the scene. We treat it in a way that allows an investigation, a full investigation, to take place. So if there is something suspicious, evidence is preserved, etc., etc. So it's a precaution, really, to make sure that. It's a precaution to make sure that nothing untoward happens in the meantime, etc. And also, there's an element of actually making sure that no one going down there to have a bit of a look or poke around actually puts themselves in danger as well. So.
Yeah, that's an interesting element to this whole thing. Well, we await further information and appreciate you coming on for
thank you
to help us out. Assistant Commissioner Ian Parrott from SAPOL with that investigation to begin as soon as I guess fire crews can get across on the ferry.
Yeah.
13 after 8, we have a meat tray to give away and a playlist to compile, and you are helping us out and doing a wonderful job.
Some of these suggestions. Our listeners are vastly better than we are.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming up with ideas. I'm just looking at this list. You should see my notes. I'm going to have 4 different pads on the go. Stuff everywhere.
It's been the most hard-working program we've ever had.
I know. It's harder than election night.
Let's take some more suggestions. Ange in Kidman Park, good morning.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good, thanks, Ange.
You know how the Western Bulldogs had a few issues with some of their players at the start of the season. You got to have who let the dogs out, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's a perennial Western Bulldogs theme. Thank you, Ange.
I had Wasted by Black Flag, given how much they've wasted their list and
wasted talent.
But you can't play Wasted by Black Flag on
Can't you?
No, because Ackman would come down on us
Right.
like a ton of bricks.
Okay, let's not do that.
Okay.
Steve in Mile End, good morning.
Good morning, folks.
Who's yours, Steve?
For North Melbourne, as a long-suffering North Melbourne fan, Glory Days by the Boss. Not Rupert, but Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, I love that song as well.
That is a great pick. I have
They'll
Loser
pass
by
you
Beck, which is just cruel. I reckon we'll punt mine and go with Glory Days.
I think Glory Days, yeah. A bit of Boss on the Grand Final Leaf playlist.
Yeah,
It's good.
good
More
tune.
Boss, the better, frankly. Eugene in Linden Park, good morning.
Morning, gents. Well, given how Geelong haven't made the finals and they've had that run of success, Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote a musical about them and Memories.
Misty watercoloured memories. No, it's the wrong song.
No, Memories from the musical Cats.
Yeah, from Cats, of course. That's good. Memories. I like
Thank
that.
you, Eugene. Gary in Prospect, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I had a couple I had for the West Coast. They could have Show Me the Way, Peter Frampton, or Give a Little Bit, Supertramp. And with the Crows, I just thought maybe Tom Duday could look at Should I Stay or Should I Go with the Clash. And Hawthorn, they could use Living in the Past, Jethro Tull, after all their premierships they got.
That is excellent.
Good on you, Gary. Matt in
Great
McLaren's Flat, good morning.
Good morning. I got Collingwood with a little help from my friends, the Beatles.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, Matt. Keep
That's
coming
good.
in. 8223 000. Let's do an audit.
We've had a few Beatles
What teams do we
suggestions, actually.
need?
We had a few people suggested yesterday by the Beatles for several clubs. Richmond, Hawthorn. The club we need the most is Brisbane. The only one we've got so far is the Lion Sleeps Tonight, which is sort of related to their mascot, but doesn't really say anything about them. And we need more for Collingwood as well. We've got some absolute crackers here. Someone also suggested a song called Wasted on You, a country song by Morgan Wallen for the Western Bulldogs. We've had Julie suggested The Way We Were for Richmond. Now there's a few as well. I really liked this one for Hawthorn, Yesterday's Hero, and also we've got Road to Nowhere. Take a look at song. And also from Will in Goodwood, Essendon, a bit of Talking Heads for the Bombers.
They really are, Essendon.
Yeah, And I think it's too cruel to play needle and the damage done for the Bombers, as was suggested by one of our listeners earlier. I reckon we'll stick with this one, which was the one I came up with yesterday when we were talking about this, for the ageing list at the Cats, also off what is arguably in the top 10 records of all time, Neil Young's Harvest, Old Man.
Old man, take a look at my life, I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day.
How good's that song?
So what do we need? More Brisbane?
We need more Brisbane and we need more Collingwood.
Okay, well, David Alberton's called in with, I think, a Collingwood suggestion. Dave, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, boys. A Motley Crue track, which is "Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away."
Hey, that is good.
That's superb.
That's on the list. That's 100%
on the
Good
list.
on you, mate.
Dave's in the running for the meat tray this morning, thanks to Hayden's Family Butcher, Shop 52 in Burnside Village. Time to check traffic, and we'll be back with more in a moment. Keezer, are you tired of back pain? Time to try Keezer, KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will. Getting busy in the usual spots this morning. South Road at Theberton, sluggish Brighton Road at Glenelg East. Do have a lane closed at Fullerton this morning for those ongoing works. Fullerton Road and Glen Osmond Road, just near the Arkabar. And look out for cameras. Moseley Street, Glenelg South, and Ocean Boulevard at Seacliff Park. Fetch up to 40% off at Pet Barn's Pet Spectacular Sale. Save on selected food, flea, tick and worm treatments, bedding, toys and more. Offer ends October 2nd, all while stocks last at Pet Barn. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Some big news. The CBA has landed a massive negotiation between all parties. Can I just say this? I wouldn't swap my era for all the gold and china, but I might now. The average man's salary...
Rowie and Timmy G.
The average man's salary by 2027 will be $519,000. Happy days to
money.
And they are the entertainment.
4 p.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Choosing appliances is a big call, so at Adelaide Appliance Gallery we do all the little things to make your big decision easier. Whether it's calling the manufacturer to answer tricky questions or arranging a demo so you know it's the one, we've got you. Plus, we always search far and wide to bring you the best offers in one place, like 10% off Asco appliances plus a 10-year warranty. So make your life easier with Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Paynham Road, St Peters.
G'day, it's Rory Sloane. The Kluger 7-seat SUV is here to move your family and to move you. It's an SUV that knows you expect practicality, but want luxury and beautiful design too. There's no need to wait for the kids to grow up. You can have your dream car now. This 7-seater has flexible cargo space thanks to the folding second and third rows. Take a test drive of the new Kluger today at Jarvis Toyota, South Road, Clovelly Park. Proudly celebrating 21 years of great deals.
Now it's time to start living at Lakeside Goolwa, the Fleurio's premier over-50s lifestyle village.
There are 5 brand new waterfront villas available, priced from just $550,000, and that's incredible. Waterfront villas from $550,000.
You'll love the stunning lake views and access to the village's world-class facilities, some of which include an indoor pool, a gym, plus a leisure lounge and function centre.
But it gets better. Lakeside Goolwa also has private marina berths and a boat ramp. Imagine spending your sunny days on the water, fishing, sailing and canoeing.
Sounds like the ideal retirement. For more on this incredible opportunity, visit the Waterfront Villa Show Home or go online at lakesidegoolwa.com.au. Don't retire, start living at Lakeside Goolwa.
South Australia boasts many one-of-a-kind destinations, but only one has the best local produce, super specials, cheap eats, pantry essentials and more. With over 70 traders under one roof, the Adelaide Central Market has something for everyone. It's open every Tuesday to Saturday with late-night trading Friday, plus live music and free kids' activities on Saturday. If you can't visit the market, order online for home delivery every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. AdelaideCentralMarket.com.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
22 minutes after 8. It's a very happy birthday today to the police Dog Operations Unit, celebrating 50 years in operation. We're joined live in the studio by Chantel and Peter. Good morning to you, but not only Chantel and Peter. Who else have you got with you?
So we got Chester and Winter with us this morning, Will.
Who can I see that's jumping on trying to eat the microphones? Because I thought there was only one in here. I didn't realise we had two.
That's
This
Winter.
is Winter, look at her.
That's Winter.
Yes.
She came flying in, I don't know if
Very
you saw
excited.
during the ad break, and just lunged at me. I was worried that I'd done something wrong.
If she sits next to you, you've got something to worry about.
So what these dogs, what are their taskings usually?
Yeah, so they're both, well, Chester's an experienced, what we call a passive alert drug detection dog.
Yep.
So he's a drug detection dog. And Winter is in week 2 of a training course at the moment.
So
So
that's why
she's
she's
our
a bit
latest.
boisterous.
Yeah, she's our latest recruit. So she's obviously picked because she's quite excitable and likes to. She's not worried about going too many places. So yeah, she certainly is going to be. She's pretending she's going to be a good little dog.
Absolutely. You can see the dogs if you jump on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. I think Emily's down there with the dog cam at the moment, which is quite an interesting perspective on things. Just looking at it now on the screen, it's quite excellent. So 50 years ago, how did the dog unit start? What was the first dog and what was...
So it was back Harold Salisbury, who was obviously one of our more famous commissioners. He decided it was time to venture into the dog operations world in the dog squad, and so he sent 2 of our members over there, Lloyd Morley and Dennis Pogsgate, back then over to England, and they undertook a 3-month course back then to teach general purpose police dogs. Those are the ones you hear on the radio most mornings that catch our crooks, that are trained to find human scent, both ground and airborne scent. And they did 3 months over there, came back to Adelaide with the trainer from England who was seconded to us for 3 months, and then we saw the nucleus of our 6 original members.
What are the different breeds that the dog squad has? Obviously, they all play different roles. So if you got some bludger running down the back streets of Theberton with a bag full of copper piping, you put a German Shepherd on him. Is that how it works?
We use the German Shepherd to find them. Yes, that's right, Dave. So our German Shepherds are selected purely, like you might have bloodhounds that are better tracking dogs, specialise in that area, or Dobermans might be better attack dogs or whatever. But across the board, our German Shepherds are equally good at those sorts of things right across the board. Labradors are very food orientated and are rewarded when they find drug odour. They will get a food reward, so they're very highly motivated to locate.
Chantel's wrestling with Winter at the moment. There's a real battle there. Chantel, do you get tasked with when you're in the dog operations unit? Are you responsible for all the dogs, or is there one or a couple that you're specifically responsible for? How does it work?
So you usually get allocated one dog that's your dog.
Is yours Winter?
Mine is Winter, yes.
Did you draw a short straw or something?
No, actually, Winter's a lovely dog. She's been doing really
beautiful.
well in her training so far. But you do also have that added responsibility of helping out your other colleagues when they need as well.
So do they live with you too? Like, is she your home dog? Like, goes home with you at the end of the day?
Yep. Winter spends all her time with me, so usually spend. There's this common saying that you spend more time with your dog than your partner or your spouse. So
that could be a good or a bad thing, obviously.
That's right, exactly. I was saying to you off air, excuse me, Pete. I met a couple of lovely blokes who work for the AFP. I didn't know that the skills that these amazing animals have, the dogs that they use at the AFP are trained to smell the components in USBs to find, like, memory sticks.
That's correct, yeah.
The houses.
Yeah, well, the dog's olfactory system is incredible, what it can pick up and what odour it can. So as long as something's got an odour, we can train a dog to find it. And obviously with offences now, USBs play a big part of that sort of thing, mobile phones, that sort of those sorts of electronic things. Dogs can be, obviously trained.
Because as a human, you don't think a USB has a smell.
No, that's correct. But it's just the dogs can pick up micro amounts of odour. So they're very, very effective.
What's the process, Chantel, to get Winter up to operational speed?
So we're currently week 2 of a course that usually runs anywhere between 10 to 14 weeks.
Okay.
And you go through a number of different training techniques to get Winter used to drug odour and things like that, and then learning how to appropriately react, how we want them to react when they pick up that drug odour.
Yeah, right.
Is there some big final test after like an exam after 14 weeks?
Well, it's all competency based.
Okay.
So from day one, I'm running the course at the moment with Winter and another dog, Saba, and They throughout the entire course, we just assess them as we're going along, and of course the handlers as well, because it's both the handler and the dog that do the work. So we need to make sure both are well paired and work well together. And yeah, so during that time, by the time we get to that 12-week mark, we have a very good idea they're going to get through and be successful and go on to operational duties.
And you guys, I can tell just by looking at you both, you love your job. Like, it must be so much fun. How do you get into the dog squad? Do you have to just apply to become a copper as per the normal route, or can you specifically say, I want to join SAPOL, but I want to be in the dog squad?
It's a very operationally orientated job, and you're working alone and basically relatively unsupervised as well to a certain degree. So we obviously look for police officers that are operationally orientated, very highly motivated members, fit, because we're constantly running behind these dogs and having to work long hours, etc. So that's the sort of thing we look for. And you've got to have affinity for dogs. It's probably not a great place to be if you don't like dogs.
Not really an animal person.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So yeah, and that's awesome. What we look for really, because it is a very unique job. We've only had 60 handlers over. SAPOL's been going since 1838, so we've only had 60 handlers.
Wow!
So we consider ourselves very lucky to be a member.
So how many are there at the moment?
We've got 20 handlers at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of turnover then, is there?
No, it's a very popular spot, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
We're basically, as a kid, you love playing hide and seek, and you love your dogs. So we're in the ideal situation. We use dogs to play hide and seek. It's fantastic fun, and we get paid for it as well, which is even better.
Well, thank you for coming in, guys.
No worries.
Pleasure
to be here.
Thank you. Happy 50th
Many happy
birthday.
returns.
29 minutes after 8. 5AA News is coming up. Feedback Friday is next. If you want to play, 8223 0000 is the number. We've got a $100 Sam Tass seafood voucher coming your way, but it'll be the first 3 callers through that are participating. So get calling now, 8223 0000.
1239 South Road, St Mary's. You'll want to remember that address. 1239 South Road, St Mary's. The new showroom of an Adelaide favourite, Bob Burns Blinds. Their gorgeous new showroom has a huge range of blinds, shutters and curtain materials on display. The team at Bob Burns Blinds can't wait to help you create a stunning new look for your home. It's a must-see. The Bob Burns Blinds new showroom at 1239 South Road, St Mary's. See you there.
G'day, it's Baz from FIVEAA Milk Company. Just wanted to make sure you knew that our milk only comes from SA dairy farmers. So make sure the milk you buy is only from SA dairy farms. Because you see, no matter how tough it gets out there, our dairy farmers always put you first. So let's support them. Look for FIVEAA Milk Company products in your supermarket. 3 words make all the difference. FIVEAA Milk Company. South Australian first and proud of it.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Sunny and 22 with the 8:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Complete windscreen supply and fit, front, rear and door glass. Proudly South Australian since 1976.
Fire cause investigators will be back at the scene of a fire on Kangaroo Island today. A blaze at the Lighthouse Cafe at Kingscote reignited overnight with flames spreading to the butcher shop next door. The total damage bill is now around $1 million. Assistant Commissioner Ian Parrott's told David and Will they're looking at a few theories.
The assessment of that first fire at the time was that it was a non-suspicious fire, probably caused by an electrical fault. This second fire, though, we actually don't know what the actual cause of that is. We have had the premises scene guarded last night. We have got our investigators over there on the island, and there will be fire techs heading down to the island today.
A man's died after a crash at Reeves Plains yesterday. A Chrysler sedan and an Isuzu truck collided on Gawler Road. The driver and sole occupant of the sedan, a 53-year-old man from Cudler, died at the scene. His death is the 82nd life lost on our roads this year, compared to 54 at the same time last year. Rupert Murdoch has announced he'll retire, leaving Fox and News Corporation in the hands of his son. More from Alison Petrowski.
After years of speculation, Rupert Murdoch today laid out his succession plan. In November, his 52-year-old son Lachlan will become the sole chairman of both Fox and News Corporation. 92-year-old Rupert will transition to the role of chairman emeritus in November. The Australian-born media mogul took control of News Limited in 1954 and has become one of the most powerful global figures in news. In a letter to his staff, the 92-year-old says both he and his companies are in good health, but, quote, the battle for the freedom of speech and ultimately the freedom of thought has never been more intense.
Soaring income tax revenue has mainly driven a huge turnaround in Australia's finances. The final budget outcome from 2022-23 will be released today by the federal government. It shows a surplus of $22.1 billion for the past year. We could be paying more for poultry at the supermarket as factory workers walk off the job in a fight for better pay and conditions. Workers at Ingham's factories across the country, including SA, are striking for 24 hours. Tim Kennedy from the National United Workers Union says it could mean higher prices for shoppers.
This is going to have a significant effect on the supply chain if we do not reach agreement in the next couple of days. It will start to affect the supermarkets.
Disability support workers say poor pay and working conditions is affecting the quality of care. The Australia Institute Centre for Future Work has found a growing reliance on independent contractors and digital platforms is leading to poorer outcomes for participants. The centre's proposing mandatory registration and accreditation for support workers and wants them to be paid at least $34 an hour. New research has found people who sleep badly are more likely to be obese. Brady Evans explains.
A James Cook University study has found 43% of obese adults have poor sleep duration compared to 32% of people in the healthy weight range. 36% of those who are overweight also report poor sleep quality. Researchers say poor sleep duration and quality boosts the secretion of hormones and exacerbates the risk of being overweight. From a behavioural perspective, the likelihood of unhealthy dietary habits is high amongst those who have bad sleep habits. It's also linked with a high risk of depression.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Let's start with football. Collingwood will aim to get back to basics for tonight's prelim final against GWS. The Pies were kept to just 2 points in the final quarter of their qualifying win against Melbourne. Coach Craig McRae says they'll be looking to move the ball quickly and deep.
Lee Matthews used to say that to fix goal kicking, the best way to do it is kick goals closer in. Our best version of us is that we move the ball well enough that we get shots closer in and force the opposition to have wide shots and long ones. So defensively, we want to try to create an oval like that, and then offensively, we want to create shots closer to goal.
Now, Nick Dacos returns for the Pies, replacing the injured Taylor Adams. GWS will be unchanged, and you can, of course, hear all the action live right here on 5AA. To soccer now, Liverpool's made a great start to its Europa League campaign, beating Austrian side Lask 3-1 this morning. The Reds trailed 1-0 at half-time, but fought back with 3 second-half goals.
Gravenberch, Gomez trying to support, really good ball in. Oh, what a fine goal. That has flowed into the Lask net. Luis Diaz with the finish. Liverpool are alive and Liverpool are in the lead.
Yeah, they did it nicely, audio, thanks to Stan Sport. West Ham also had a win against Serbian side TSC 3-1, but fellow EPL sides Brighton and Aston Villa both had losses. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
Smooth as a baby today. Shouldn't have any hassles getting where you were going. South Road flowing well as you're heading into the city. Anzac Highway starting to build. It is getting sluggish intersection of Fullerton Road to Glen Osmond Road. I've got a lane closed this morning at Hindmarsh for works. Park Terrace near 2nd Street. Speeds at 40. Cameras today. Baines Road, Woodcroft and Eastern Road at Happy Valley. Get $100 off the next real range of 4-burner barbecue. Now just $299 at Barbecues Galore. Hurry in store or online to Barbecues Galore today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Can't remember when you had your brakes checked? It's been too long. Call 1300 Automasters now.
Sunny and 22 today, sunny tomorrow 24, up to 28 on Sunday and partly cloudy for Monday, also 28. At the moment 15. More news as it happens on 5AA.
For nearly 40 years, no one has done certified used cars quite like Steinborner Automotive, with dedicated yards including SA's best range of commercials loaded and ready to go, including SA's only dedicated small car and SUV centre, and SA's only large SUV and 4x4 centre suited for any lifestyle. Steinborner still also has the best range of Commodores from ZBs to the collectibles. View all late model used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth a trip.
Sold by McGain again.
And because there's still limited stock, you absolutely have to get along to these open inspections.
Tomorrow from 11 to 11:30 a.m, Zoe Ball and Mike Dobbin are opening 30 Dressage Avenue, Woodcroft. Positioned at the top of Woodcroft Farm, this spacious family home has been updated throughout and offers stunning, tranquil views from the all-weather entertaining area, featuring 3 bedrooms, 2 living areas, a newly renovated kitchen, bathroom and ensuite, $695 to $745K.
Also tomorrow from 12:15 to 12:45, Zoe and Mike, great bloke Mike, saw him yesterday at the footy lunch. They're opening 13 Foster Street, Forestville, perfect for busy professionals or downsizers. This updated 2-bedroom home, it's a beauty. It features 2 renovated bathrooms, renovated kitchen, ducted heating and cooling, 2 private undercover entertaining areas, plus secure carport parking and a low maintenance yard. $649 to $699K.
Take a look at these properties and all the McGain listings at mcgain.com.au.
Keep it clean and running like a dream with F10 fuel treatment. Whether it's cars, trucks, earth-moving machinery, boats or bikes, petrol or diesel, no matter what you drive, F10 makes engines run smoother and more efficiently, cleans and protects injectors and pumps, and extends the life of your engine. F10 removes water, wax, varnishes, and diesel bug contamination. F10 fuel treatment. Available at Auto One, Atom, Blackwoods, Burson's, and Repco stores.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Jobs, apprenticeships, traineeships and careers. Maxima can help. Learn more today at maxima.com.au.
21 to 9, we've got grand final tickets, remember? We're going to be giving them away on Monday morning. We've got one more spot available. 3 songs, 3 grand final performances. If you can name the artists and titles, it'll be you that's filling that final spot. It's going to happen before 9 o'clock today. We're going to be giving away the meat tray too to someone who's contributed to our grand vinyl playlist. But right now, it's Feedback Friday time. We've still got a couple of spots available for Feedback Friday.
Hop to it.
$100 worth of Samtas seafood could well be yours. Takes you about 2 minutes of your time.
Meant to say
Call
yesterday,
now.
bit of a plug for a much-loved Adelaide restaurant. The PM, Albo, said yesterday after our interview, he had a great meal at La Trattoria on Wednesday night. And he had the veal saltimbocca, the veal fillets with the mozzarella and prosciutto and the sage. Said it was terrific. There you go.
Magnificent. That's good to know.
Breaking 8:35. Hold the front page.
Good on the trap. We love the trap. 20 minutes to 9. Feedback Friday, 8223 Let's get into it.
Feedback Friday today, so have you say feedback.
Paul in Hillcrest, first caller through. Morning to you, Paul.
Yeah, good morning, boys. Can I just say straight up that I'm not interested in the prize, so you give it to one of the other couple of callers, because I just want to have a crack.
Oh, mate, you're a generous, big-hearted man.
You're a legend, Paul. The PM spent a fair bit of time on the Nord Parade during his quick visit to Adelaide this week. What's your go-to street to take an interstater?
Oh, probably Main Street of Harndorf, I think.
Yeah, I reckon that's everyone's number one.
Good one.
Are you going to be watching the Sample Grand Final on Sunday, Paul?
I'll be going because I actually won tickets on the Rowie and Timmy G show last night, so that's why I'm not interested in the prize this morning. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate that.
Good on you, Paul.
Do you ever go on a school camp at Victor Harbour?
I think we went to Mylor or something.
Okay.
No, Strathalbyn. Sorry, it was Strathalbyn.
You didn't sneak out to buy snacks from the servo, did you?
No, I fell off a horse.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you recover?
Did you injure yourself
that was the
badly?
last time. No, but that was the last time I was on a horse.
Yeah.
Grade 6.
Hey, Paul, do you think Travis Boak should go on next year?
Look, I'm a Crows man. I think probably. Look, he was one of their best players in the last game, I thought. So yeah, he might have it in him. I guess if we can give Sloaney another year, I guess they can give Boakey another year, I suppose.
As a Crows man, Paul, do you think they should have given Ken Hinkley an 8-year contract?
Thank you, Paul. Let's go to Lisa in Glenelg. Lisa, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Yeah, good,
Good,
Lisa.
thanks,
So,
Lisa.
Lisa, we've had an El Nino now officially declared. Are you in the camp of bring on a hot summer, or would you like to bring back the cool weather that came with the La Nina?
I think I prefer the hot summer. Oh, no, I'm going through menopause, so no, bring back the cooler weather.
Okay, thank you for sharing. That's good.
Sorry, I've caught menopause.
Yeah,
You've
caught it.
Yeah.
Off a toilet seat or something.
That's
Oh, no, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Happens to everyone.
Yeah, right.
Well,
David, stop talking. Lisa, should the AFL Premiership Cup be named the Barassi Cup or just left without a name?
I did like Rum Barassi, but then it's very, very much very Victorian still, and it is the AFL, so I think it should, maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe just for this year.
Oh, yeah, we could rotate it. That's not a bad idea. Have you been swooped by a magpie yet this season?
Oh, no, but my niece has. And I found out that they actually recognise your face, so she gets swooped all the time.
What did she do to it? Did she yell at it?
I don't know. She's like
didn't like
absolutely
it.
petrified of them.
Well, that's not good.
Taking a set against it. Horrible.
Did you fill up your petrol tank this week, Lisa, or have you
No,
decided to skip
my gosh, that's where I'm going right now, to Costco.
Oh, okay. Save a bit of money there.
Yeah, I'm just turning into Churchill Road now.
All right, that's
Pop
good.
in and buy 8 kilograms of
I
Monterey
like how
Jack cheese while you're there, too.
I like how you've worked in a whole bunch of personal information into your Feedback Friday, Lisa. I think it's
Oh,
excellent.
sorry.
No, it's good. No,
it's good.
I think it's great.
I'm a first-time player. I'm glad you didn't ask me about school camp, because I had a strict dad and I was never allowed to go to...
Oh, really? Well, we've learned a lot
What
about
did he
you,
think was
Lisa, in the
gonna
last
happen
2
on-
minutes.
What do you think was going to happen on school camp?
I don't know, but I just wasn't a strict Italian background. I was never allowed to go.
Fair enough. Just lastly, Lisa, the US government lost a $150 million fighter jet this week. Have you ever lost something expensive?
I've lost lots and lots and lots of things. True. It's true. Anybody that knows me, I threw away $10,000 to the salvos, but I got it back.
Hang on.
10 grand?
Please
Yeah,
explain.
because what happened is we were going overseas, so I wanted to do some shopping. So we were hiding money in my husband's grandpa's old jacket, and then before we went away, I cleared out all the clothes and I put that in the box for the salvos.
Oh no!
True story.
Lisa-
Ask anybody else. I threw away some jewellery from Italy in the bin at Marion. It's true.
We should get you on every day, Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa, you need to call in more often. This has
true,
been a
I
very
know.
enjoyable experience.
Okay.
That
You
was-
have a nice day.
You too, Lisa.
too,
That was
Lisa.
excellent. Fantastic. Let's go to Ben. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, gents. Ben Jordan here as well.
Hey!
And
Ben!
Give Lisa the Samtas voucher, because while you're on holidays in July, I joined Feedback Friday, and Lucy and Penvo kindly gave me the $100 voucher, which I've caught some kingfish with. So,
I will say, on her own merits, Lisa was probably in the pole position.
Absolutely.
In any case, it was
That was
terrific.
one of the funniest calls we've ever had.
and I'm a Bays man, Penvo, so good luck for Sunday. But,
Mate, you too. I'll probably
all good.
see you there, Ben.
This is good having our
Absolutely.
stats man on, Ben. You need to come on more often as well. Hey, have you ever been ramped before, Ben?
no, thankfully it's been a long time since I've been in hospital. 30 years, actually. So, yeah, all good.
We knew you'd have the data. Matt Abraham admitted that he took a souvenir from the Maralinga nuclear testing site. Do you have anything exotic that you've ever souvenired?
Dear oh dear. No, there's certainly nothing as exciting as something from Maralinga, so no, I'm just going to draw a blank there, sorry.
Nothing with a half-life of 60,000 years.
No, that's right.
I think he got rid of it pretty quickly. The police commissioner declared Adelaide one of the safest cities in Australia. Do you think that's fair or incorrect?
Look, it's probably correct, but I live down the bay as well, and could use a bit more of the local constabulary down there, I think, these days as well. So I think, they do a pretty good job, but that could be a bit more on the ground, I reckon, as well.
And Ben, have you ever run the city to bay, being a bay resident?
I have actually done it a few times. Broke the hour back in 2009, so
that's
I'm happy with that. So
that's
all
good going. And just lastly, we had a spirited debate off air about this. The gentleman who was arrested, accused of lighting the Cherry Gardens bushfire, amongst some others, was caught in his car driving around without his top on. Have you ever driven around in your car topless?
Absolutely not. It's just, really? and certainly haven't done that all with an open bottle of wine either. So,
See, I haven't done it with the wine, but I quite often...
Well, what we learnt yesterday, Ben, was that David regularly drives around mostly naked.
Not mostly
he
naked.
Porky pigs all
just
the
from
time.
The top up. In summer, at the beach, you know, I'll go up to the Caltex on Old Coach Road and fill up the car in my bathers.
In your
With no
Speedos.
shoes. Not my Speedos. I don't know
The ones that say David on the back. do you still have them? Or do you...
Wearing my strop hat. Now, look, there's no contest here today.
No.
Through the magnanimous generosity of both Paul and Ben Jordan.
What a nice moment.
Lisa dead set.
Lisa was superb.
Lisa's call was just so funny.
Lisa was great. She just...
What about giving 10 grand to the salvos?
She spilt the beans. Had some great stories.
The hot flushes.
Superb,
Had it all.
Lisa. Please call again. You've got the $100 Samtas seafood voucher coming your way. Someone in a few moments' time is going to be put in the running to win AFL Grand Final tickets. Last chance to win right here, right now. This is the 3-song compilation you need to name. Artist, title.
Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. People killing, people dying, children hurt, hear them crying.
They say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. I've never seen anybody do the things you do before.
3 songs.
How did that song ever become a hit?
8223 is the number. Get calling now. We're going to be putting the last contestant in the running right after the break. Time to check traffic thanks to Keyser. You're tired of back pain? Try Keyser, KIESER.com.au.
Thanks, Will. Getting busy in a few spots this morning. South Road at Theberton, sluggish Brighton Road at Brighton. Starting to build Anzac Highway as you're heading into the city near West Terrace there. And got a lane closed at Fullerton this morning for the intersection upgrade of Fullerton Road and Glen Osmond Road. Cameras, Jetty Road, Largs Bay and Moseley Street at Glenelg South. Pick up a better brekkie at Hungry Jack's like the $6 barbecue brekkie wrap with 2 hash browns and a rich, velvety, smooth barista coffee. Till 11am on app only and pick up at Hungry Jack's. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
On 5AA mornings today, nominations have opened to the SA Voice to Parliament, and there are more positions to be filled than there are MPs in South Australia's lower house. And overusing social media, how much time is long enough? There are a couple of the topics today. I'm Matthew Pantelis. Look forward to your company from 9.
Medical research doesn't have to be a bore. Spend 14 nights at CMAC's Clinical Research and catch up on your favourite shows. Then attend one follow-up visit, and upon completion, participants are paid for their time. Healthy volunteers with no current medical conditions are needed to be part of the discovery of a potential treatment for bone marrow malignancies. Apply today for C06623 at cmax.com.au. That's cmax.com.au.
Some builders think a sloping block has limitations. When Beechwood Homes look at a sloping block, they think, the possibilities. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in them. Beechwood will design a home that works with the land you have, taking full advantage of every square metre. So if you're looking at a sloping block, go for it. Beechwood has your back. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
Now, when it comes to the freshest fruit and veg, meat, seafood, bread, pastries, small goods, coffee and cheese in Adelaide, the choice is simple.
That's right, Adelaide Central Market. It's SA's home of the best local produce, super specials, cheap eats, pantry essentials. There is something for everyone.
They're open every Tuesday to Saturday with late night trading Friday, plus live music and free kids activities on Saturday.
Now, nothing beats getting into the market, but if for whatever reason you can't make it in, just simply order online too for home delivery every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday.
Support local and shop at the Adelaide Central Market with 70 traders under one roof.
And check out their website, adelaidecentralmarket.com.
There's only 1 week left to enter the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. You could be living it up mortgage-free in the $5 million Hyde Park home. Or you can take $4.5 million in cash and live life your way. The choice is yours. Every ticket improves treatments and care for all South Australians. See full details at homelottery.com.au. That's homelottery.com.au. Licence M14411.
Breakfast on 5AA. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
If you're living with a disability, injury or health condition and looking for work, visit maxima.com.au.
8 to 9, this is it. The grand final of the grand final comp. The last listener that'll be put in the running for Monday morning's draw, the 10th and lucky last. Someone who can name these 3 songs and artists.
Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. People killing, people dying, children hurt, they hear them crying.
All I say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, I never seen anybody do the things you do before.
It's pretty contemporary, these performances, all coming since the year 2000.
What, even the first one?
Yep. Maxine, good morning.
Oh, good morning, gents.
How are you feeling, Maxine?
I'm extremely nervous. This is my second attempt. So
Okay. Have a
fingers
stab.
crossed. All right. I've got the first one is Waltzing Matilda by the Seekers. The second one, Where is the Love, Black Eyed Peas. And Dance for Me, Tones and I.
Sorry,
Bad
Maxine,
luck,
you're very
Maxine.
close. I got a feeling you're agonisingly close the first time too. Robbie, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good, thanks, Robbie.
All right, have a crack.
Excellent. Okay, the first one, Waltzing Matilda, the Speakers.
Well, yeah, keep going. There's 3 you're going to name.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Where is the Love, Black Eyed Peas, and Dance Monkey, Tones and I.
Yeah, so exactly the same as Maxine just a moment ago, and she got it wrong. So
she got the title of Dance Monkey wrong as well. She said Dance for Me.
Oh, did she?
I think.
I didn't even pick that up. There you go.
But
okay.
the first one, obviously, it is Waltzing Matilda. It's not the Seekers.
David, good morning.
Morning.
How you going, Dave?
Good. I'll try Waltzing Matilda, Bachelor Girl, Tones and I, Dance Monkey, and Black Eyed Peas, Where is the Love?
Sorry, David. Keep those calls coming in. 8223 0000 is the number. There's one that's stumping people.
Yes. It's clearly a female vocalist.
Unfortunately, 2 out of 3 is bad when it comes to this competition.
That's right.
What we might do is go behind closed doors. We'll get some more people to call in. We're giving this away in the next 5 minutes. The last spot, the last 10% chance at going to the AFL Grand Final. But first, behind closed doors, thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, interstate freight distribution, warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 13 64.
And when we get behind closed
1395. Adelaide's 5AA. This is the Saturday Sports Show. KG and Cornsey.
Welcome back, folks, to the Saturday Sports Show. Graham Corns with you, and the master of sports broadcasting.
Oh, no masters here, Stanley, just catering. Come on, Stan.
Keep your texts and emails coming in, folks. There's one here from Jeff who says, what are the Crows going to do when Tex retires in the next year or so? They'll be even worse. So am I missing something, or do we need to call out that the Emperor actually has no clothes?
What?
You know the old story.
No, I don't.
The Emperor has no clothes?
What Emperor? What are you talking about?
The little boy who saw the Emperor naked.
Oh, Stanley! You have to question what an Emperor was doing with a little boy with no clothes on.
He rode past on a horse and wasn't wearing any clothes.
Oh, he's a bloody pervert. Why wasn't he wearing any clothes?
Because a couple of swindlers convinced the Emperor that they made clothes with invisible material.
Oh, well, how the hell did he become Emperor? He was pretty stupid if
They told him the clothes could only be seen by clever people.
Well, he was a buffet.
Well, the point is...
And if Tex Walker ran out onto the field with no clothes on, he'd have to go through another scandal.
No, they're not saying that.
Well, what are they saying? Why can't people keep it simple?
He's making a point that...
It's like what you said about the sunset this morning.
It's a sunrise in the morning, not a sunset.
Whatever, you lost me. You said something about sailors. I think you're a bit warped, actually, Stud.
I said red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning, red sky at night, Sailor's Delight.
Well, why don't you talk properly? You keep losing me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Speak English.
They are common expressions.
Common, all right, they're pornographic.
Oh, Ken.
Why can't you just speak normally? When I was saying, where's Riley Thilthorpe and where's Wayne Miller, you started talking about Buddy Wally Whistle. What?
No, where's Wally?
I've never heard of Where's Wally.
Well, you have to find Wally. That's the whole...
I don't want to find Wally, and when did he ever play for the Crows?
All right, Matt and Stepney, can you be the final entrant to our grand final competition? Good morning. What are the three songs?
Good morning, guys. I'm going to try for Julie Anthony, Waltzing Matilda, Black Eyed Peas, Where's the Love, and Tones and I, Dance Monkey.
Absolutely correct, Matt. You're in the running. And on Monday morning, your name's in the hat when we draw from one of 10 listeners who got it right over the past 2 weeks for that fantastic ultimate grand final prize. Flights, tickets, accommodation, it's all included, so make sure you were listening in on Monday morning. Got some cheap fuel to leave you with this morning. Find the cheapest fuel in an instant. Download the free RAA app from your app store today. The ex-convenience Main North Road Jeps Cross is at $1.90.7. That's way cheaper than anything else, because have a listen to these cheap spots. Silver's Auto Centre, Gilbert Street, Adelaide, $2.19.9. United Henley Beach Road, Henley Beach, $2.19.9. Liberty Eric Road, Old Noarlunga, $2.25.9. They're cheap. The cheapest diesel is actually much below that. The United South Road, Melrose Park, $2.12.9. All South Aussies can find the cheapest fuel in an instant with the help of the RAA's free-to-download app. The winner of the meat tray, thanks to Hayden's Family Butcher.
The winner absolutely cracked us up. This was in the first hour of the show. Let's roll the tape, Will.
Darcy, good morning.
I've got one for all the Carlton supporters out there. The Divinals, I touched myself.
Well, Darcy could be a winner this morning. Yeah, Darcy's a winner. That's 100% on the playlist. The full list will be revealed next Friday night.
It's sensational.
It's Grand Final Eve party, thanks to Clarity Records. Looking forward to it. It'll run from 7 till 10 at night. We're out of time. Enjoy your weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Enjoy the footy. Make sure you tune in at 6 o'clock Monday morning to see what state David's in.
Good luck, Glenelg, and more importantly, calm the mighty Double Blues. Might be doing a live broadcast from the Arkabar Monday, Will.
Matt Pantelis is next. See you Monday.
The BMW sale event is on now. Experience exceptional savings at your local BMW dealer today. While stocks last, receive a $5,000 trade-in bonus, plus a 5-year BMW service package on all demonstrators across the BMW range. This